Chapter 898. In a dilemma, Qin Yun took the star blazing fire talisman and smiled. We don't know each other? How could it be so easy? Didn't you say that I would pay you back tenfold? The round-faced, middle-aged man shook his head and wailed, I don't dare anymore, I was wrong. Big brother, let me off. Everyone secretly frowned when they saw the round-faced, middle-aged man begging Qin Yun. After all, he is a martial emperor. However, when they thought about it carefully, if they had a talisman weapon in their Dao core that could explode at any time, they would definitely end up like this. The Qianfeng sect's half-immortal realm elder also didn't know what to do. He could not help that martial emperor, nor could he attack Qin Yun. That was because that martial emperor's life was in Qin Yun's hands. Big brother, what do I have to do to make you let me go? The round-faced middle-aged man asked with a face full of fear, because he felt that the throwing knife talisman weapon was trembling inside the Dao core. Everyone also felt that it was strange. How did the throwing dagger talisman weapon enter the Dao pill? Actually, that flying knife talisman weapon was a Dao artifact. It had star runes and moon runes added to it. It could absorb the power of the mysterious penetration divine art very well. If one was not prepared, the throwing knife practitioner weapon could easily enter someone's body. Hong Mengshu also secretly admired Qin Yun's methods. She wanted to know if the Dao talismans and talisman tools that Qin Yun took out were made by himself. Qin Yun secretly sent a voice transmission to the round-faced man. Uncle, why don't we do this? I hate Tian Dajiang, Tian Xiu, Luo Meru, Gong Fian, as well as Lu Tian. And there are also those Qianfeng sect disciples. You go and give each of them a slap. When the round-faced middle-aged man heard the voice in his mind, he was inwardly startled and wanted to see those youngsters. Don't look at them, lest they become suspicious. Qin Yun transmitted his voice again. Hurry up and decide. Either you die or do as I say. Don't worry. Even though old Fei Tian is a half-immortal, you are Qianfeng sect's martial emperor. He will not kill you. After Qin Yun sent the voice transmission, he thought for a moment and hurriedly said, Also, don't admit that I forced you to do it. Otherwise, bear the consequences. The round-faced, middle-aged man gritted his teeth. His body suddenly moved, and he quickly flashed away. The few people that Qin Yun had named were not far away. The round-faced, middle-aged martial emperor's strength is quite good. In just a few moments, he left a large palm print on the faces of those young people. Pa 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 pa. The round-faced middle-aged man did as Qin Yun said. He ruthlessly slapped the faces of those arrogant youngsters. The youths who were beaten were also stunned and covered their faces. Even Lu Tiangue, who had just been carried up, was also beaten. Grandpa, he hit me. Tian Xiu covered her face and cried loudly. In my entire life, no one has ever dared to hit me like this. Grandpa, you must kill him. Tian Dajiang was also very angry. Gong Fian and Luo Meru covered their faces with their hands. They are very angry in their hearts, but they don't dare to say anything because the person who hit them is their Qianfeng sect's martial emperors. The other Qianfeng sect disciples were so angry that they didn't even dare to show their anger. Lei Xiong, what are you doing? Old Fei Tian furiously shouted at the round-faced middle-aged man. You dare hit my grandson? Everyone immediately realized that this must be Qin Yun's instigation. It must be that dog slave who told him to hit them. Tian Dajiang pointed at Qin Yun and loudly shouted. Everyone knows that Lei Xiong has a throwing knife talisman tool in his Dao core. Qin Yun can make that talisman tool explode at any time. Lei Xiong promptly said, It has nothing to do with him. I was the one who wanted to hit them. Just now, they were very rude to this big brother. I was just teaching them a lesson. Old Fei Tian gritted his teeth and furiously glared at Qin Yun. You bastard. Did you force him? He said it just now. He did it himself. What does it have to do with me? Qin Yun spread out his hands and said. Ying Qingyu, who was watching the show from the side, secretly praised Qin Yun for his smooth play. Gong Fian and Luo Meru are both fiercely glaring at Qin Yun. Lu Tiangue furiously said, Dog slave, I will kill you. After Lei Xiong heard this, he immediately jumped over and slapped Lu Tiangue a few more times. Idiot! Shut up for me. Lu Tiangue's face is covered with blood after being hit by Lei Xiong. He is screaming miserably. Gong Fian, Luo Meru, and other Qianfeng sect disciples originally wanted to curse Qin Yun, but seeing Lu Tiangue's miserable state, they immediately shut their mouths. They don't even dare to glare at Qin Yun. Old Fei Tian looked at the Qianfeng sect's half-immortal elder and said, Elder Qiu, you also saw what happened just now? I want to teach Lei Xiong a lesson. What do you think? Teach him a lesson, but don't kill him. Elder Qiu feels that his head is aching and said in low voice, No, Grandpa, you must kill that fat donkey. Tian Dajiang furiously said, Little bastard, what are you cursing me for? Lei Xiong already has belly full of anger. Hearing Tian Dajiang calling him fat donkey, he immediately became furious and loudly roared. Fat donkey! Tian Dajiang loudly shouted. Fat donkey, you will die soon. So what if I cursed you a few times? Tian Siyu also screamed. Lei Xiong immediately furiously roared. He wanted to rush over, but he doesn't dare because old Fei Tian is there. Old Fei Tian said in cold voice, Elder Qiu, if you want to protect Lei Xiong, don't blame me for being impolite. Elder Qiu let out a long sigh and said, Lei Xiong, our Qianfeng sect has never provoked trouble. Now, you have provoked such a big disaster. I can only expel you from Qianfeng sect. From now on, Lei Xiong is not a member of our Qianfeng sect. Many people are discussing in amazement. Qianfeng sect's actions are pardonable. After all, they have offended a half-immortal. It can be seen that old Fei Tian is very strong. Naturally, there are also many people who are cursing Qianfeng sect for being weak. Luo Meru loudly cursed. Lei Xiong, you fat donkey, you dare hit me. If you are still alive, I guarantee that my Luo family will kill you. Lei Xiong is also stunned. He tightly clenched his fists. He is now either side of death. He looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun is expressionless and did not say anything. Old Fei Tian said in cold voice, Lei Xiong, were you forced by that brat? If so, I will spare your life. Luo Meru also yelled, If it was done by that dog slave, then we can understand this matter. Fat donkey, quickly admit it. Little whore, shut up for your father. Lei Xiong arrived in front of Luo Meru in a flash and ruthlessly beat her. You bunch of little bastards, all day long you talk about other people's names behind their backs. This daddy has had enough of you bastards. If it were not for you, this daddy would not have ended up like this. If Elder Qiu did not rush over and shake off Lei Xiong, Luo Meru would have been beaten into a pig's head. Gong Fian is still feeling some pain after being slapped. She is secretly rejoicing that she did not curse Lei Xiong. Otherwise, she would have ended up like Luo Meru. Seeing Luo Meru being beaten to the point where even her mother cannot recognize her, she feels indescribably happy in her heart because she also hates Luo Meru. Old Fei Tian coldly said, Lei Xiong, I will give you another chance. If you admit that you were forced, I will only beat you up. Only this way old Fei Tian can make things difficult for Qin Yun. Otherwise, he won't have any excuse to teach Qin Yun a lesson. Because no matter what, Qin Yun is Brother Yu's slave. If they don't have enmity with Qin Yun, Brother Yu can use this as a pretext to ruthlessly swindle them. Lei Xiong said in cold voice, I was not forced. I've been very unhappy with these little bastards for a long time now. Tian Dajiang furiously yelled. Grandfather, he scolded me as a little bastard. That means you are an old bastard. He is also scolding you. Quickly kill him. Hearing these words, everyone wants to laugh, but they don't dare to laugh. They can only secretly hold it in. Old Fei Tian immediately stomped his feet in anger. He took out a long sword and rushed towards Lei Xiong. Everyone is secretly apprehensive. Old Fei Tian actually wants to kill. Just as the long sword descended, the hunchbacked old man suddenly attacked. His palm flashed, and a long halberd with dim golden light appeared. The halberd blocked old Fei Tian's sword and issued a dang sound. I'm the general manager of this divine inscription palace. I can't just watch as you destroy this divine inscription palace. If you want to cause trouble, go outside. The hunchbacked old man said. He is worried that Lei Xiong will suddenly self-destruct. At that time, his divine inscription palace will be finished. Lei Xiong heard this and promptly shouted, "Don't come over. Otherwise, I will self-destruct. At that time, this divine inscription palace will be smashed to pieces." Old Fei Tian also doesn't dare to go over. Elder Chiu said, "Lei Xiong, if you admit your mistake and admit that someone forced you, you will be fine. If Lei Xiong admits it, he will also die. Old dog Chiu, you weak and incompetent son of bitch. Quickly shut your stinky mouth." Lei Xiong loudly roared. Elder Chiu's expression immediately became unsightly. He is also secretly angry. Lei Xiong is throwing caution to the wind. He is cursing whoever he catches. "General Manager, please accept me. I am willing to stay in the Divine Inscription Palace for 10,000 years. I will do hard labor for 10,000 years." Lei Xiong said to the hunchbacked old man. The hunchbacked old man looked at old Fei Tian, shook his head, and said, "That won't do. I can't accept you. I don't want to offend people." Ing Qingyu said with smile, "Old short hunchback, is that halberd in your hand the ancient Dao tool you just obtained? It looks very good. Do you want to take action?" Everyone is convinced by this, brother Yu. People are shouting and shouting to kill here. The atmosphere is filled with killing intent. Yet Ing Qingyu is still smiling mischievously and doing business. He doesn't even look at the situation. This ancient Dao tool is damaged. If repaired, it will become an ancient king tool, comparable to some half-immortal tools. Hunchbacked old man let out a long sigh and said, "There are 2 important runes on it that are damaged. I can't repair them." This immediately attracted the interest of many people. Even old Fei Tian is looking at the halberd with dim golden light. Ing Qingyu asked in amazement, "What kind of runes are damaged? Even you can't repair them?" Qin Yun, who has been silent all this time, suddenly said, "1 set of star runes and 1 set of moon runes are seriously damaged. More than half of the bright and dark runes have been erased. There are also 3 sets of dark runes. A small part of them has been damaged." The hunchbacked old man's eyes are wide open. He looked at Qin Yun and said with face filled with shock, "How did you know?" Hong Mengshu said in low voice, "Grandpa Hunchback, he is an inscription master. You saw my mystic moon saber before, right? The moon runes on it were damaged. He was the one who repaired them. This caused all the martial emperors and half-immortals here to be emotionally moved, especially those who understand inscription masters. All of them are endlessly shocked. Because they all saw Hong Mengshu's mystic moon saber, they know that those moon runes are very complicated and very difficult to repair." Chapter 899. Great Master Hong Ing also knows about this matter. Therefore, he has always attached great importance to good relationship with Qin Yun so that he won't suffer any losses in the future. Because according to his knowledge, inscription masters who can repair moon runes are very few and very difficult to find. Even in Xian domain, there are many martial emperors and half-immortals who are running around everywhere looking for inscription masters to repair ancient magic tools. Hunchback General Manager looked at Qin Yun in amazement and asked, "Little brother, can you truly repair moon runes?" Qin Yun said, "I am not sure. I will have to try to know. The main thing is that Junior's halberd is a king tool and Mengshu's saber is a Xian tool. The difference is too great. Back then, I researched Mengshu's mystic moon saber for a period of time. The ancient moon rune on it has indeed been repaired. If you can do that, you can also repair my halberd." Hunchback General Manager promptly grabbed Qin Yun's arm and said, "Help me give it a try." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "I don't dare to act recklessly. If I damage your things, I won't be able to compensate you." Hunchback General Manager said with smile, "Little brother, if you damage it, I won't ask you to compensate me. Is that fine? If you can repair it, I will not treat you unfairly." Qin Yun said, "Then I will carefully look at your halberd. Take it." Hunchback General Manager handed over the halberd to Qin Yun with both hands. Lei Xiong is still kneeling on the ground. He is now completely dumbfounded because everyone here seems to have forgotten about his existence. Others are also very shocked, especially those young juniors. They feel as if the world is collapsing. Qin Yin looks very young. Moreover, he is also very strong, but he is also an inscription master, especially Luo Meru's group of female disciples. They are even more envious and jealous. They can see from the expression in hunchbacked general manager's eyes that Qin Yun is greatly respected, a young man obtaining the respect of the Divine Inscription Palace's general manager. This is a matter that makes many people envious. Earlier, when Luo Meru and others saw Hong Mengshu together with a servant, they wanted to use this as a pretext to properly scold Hong Mengshu and make her make a fool of herself in front of everyone. But now it seems that they are the ones making a fool of themselves. They are also secretly cursing Hong Mengshu. She clearly knew that Qin Yun is an inscription master who can repair runes, but she did not say anything, causing them to be cheated miserably. What they didn't understand was why Qin Yun wanted to be Brother Yu's disciple. Everyone knows that the hunchback general manager is not stupid. He is not that easy to deceive. He is so sure that Qin Yun can repair the moon rune. He must know something. Qingyu knows that Qin Yun is not only an inscription master, but also a soul refiner. With excellent talent, he was now certain that Qin Yun could repair the moon rune. Those martial emperors and half-immortals have lived for many years. They more or less have some ancient magic tools. Due to various reasons, the runes on those ancient magic treasures were damaged. They needed to be redrawn or repaired in order to recover. If someone could really repair it, it would be very amazing. After a round of inspection, Qin Yun said, "I can try to repair it. Can you give me a quiet and sealed chamber?" Sure. It's right here." The hunchback general manager promptly led Qin Yun to a side of the hall. "There's a secret room for changing clothes there. I need to go alone. Don't disturb me." "Oh, that's right, senior. Don't let Lei Xiong get injured. Properly take care of him." Qin Yun looked at Lei Xiong, who is still kneeling on the ground. "All right," the hunchback general manager said with a smile, then hastily helped Lei Xiong up and patted the dust off his body. Lei Xiong is completely dumbstruck. His eyes are wide open. He finds this very hard to believe. This Divine Inscription Palace's general manager is actually so polite to him. Bang! Qin Yun entered the secret room and closed the door. The hunchback general manager looked at Qingyu and cursed in low voice. "Brother Yu, what is going on with this slave of yours?" Everyone also looked at Qingyu. An inscription master who can repair moon rune is willing to become someone else's slave. This is indeed very inexcusable. Qingyu immediately beamed with joy and said, "I said before he wanted to obtain one of my treasures, so he wanted to become my slave. I saw that he is not bad, so I accepted him as my slave. But actually, we are not true master and servant relationship. You also said before that he is an inscription master. What level is he?" Qingyu thought for a bit and said, "I really don't know what level inscription master he is. In short, this brat is very awesome. Moreover, he even saved my life once. He wanted to become my slave. Maybe it was just for fun. I also thought it was fun, so I accepted him as my slave." Everyone present immediately started cursing in their hearts. Just for fun, he cheated many people miserably, especially Lu Tiangue. If he knew that Qin Yun is such a young inscription master, even if he had two guts, he would not dare to bully Qin Yun. Luo Meru and Gong Fian can only envy Hong Mengshu to death now. She is actually acquainted with this kind of mysterious genius. Tian Siyu and Tian Dajiang's expression is also very unsightly, because in this kind of situation, they will not be able to take back the slap they received. "Brother Yu, where did this brat come from? How come I have never heard of him?" Old Fei Tian promptly walked over and asked. I met him in transcending Xianxi region. He is called Brother Yun. Qingyu is also helping Qin Yun conceal his identity, because he also wants Qin Yun to repair his magic tool. Now he must curry favor with Qin Yun. Old Fei Tian said in amazement. He is just a little demon, yet he is roaming around and transcending Xianxi region by himself. Qingyu chuckled and said, "What is so strange about this? This brat cultivation is not very high, but he has all kinds of strange magic tools in his hands. Whoever dares to cause trouble for him will be out of luck." Everyone has no doubt about these words. They all looked at Lei Xiong. Lei Xiong has been cheated miserably. Hunchback General Manager said with smile. So, is a ghost genius from transcending Xianxi region. No wonder. Old Fei Tian quickly looked at Tian Siyu and Tian Dajiang and furiously said, "Look at you two. How many times have I told you not to be so condescending? Look at who you have provoked now. Wait for that little brother to come out, then quickly kneel down and apologize to him." Everyone slightly inhaled a mouthful of air. Just now old Fei Tian was shouting about killing his granddaughter and grandson. Yet now he wants them to kneel down and apologize to him. Tian Siyu is biting her lips. She doesn't dare to say anything. Tian Dajiang is also the same, because they know that old Fei Tian is truly angry. Old Fei Tian's plump old face is filled with smile as he walked towards Hong Ying and Hong Mengshu. "Two friends, wait for that little brother to come out. Please put in a few good words for me and ask him to repair a magic tool for me." Old Fei Tian said in low voice. He is a half-immortal, yet he is acting like this. It can be seen that he has a very important magic tool that he wants to repair. "This, I might not be able to do it. Let's see if he accepts your granddaughter's apology or not. If he accepts, then it will be a lot easier." Hong Ying said. "Miss Mengshu, you are very familiar with him. He will surely listen to you. How about this? I will give you a small gift." Old Fei Tian took out a watermelon-sized light golden stone and said, "This is a Regent Origin Stone. I am giving it to you. Regent Origin Stone, whether it is in Xian Domain or transcending Xianxi region, it is very precious to martial kings and martial emperors. This gift can be considered very precious." All the younger generation present in the hall are looking at Hong Mengshu with incomparable envy. "All right." Hong Mengshu decisively took the stone and said, "Whether he will help you or not, I can't say. But I will help you put in a few good words." "Many thanks. Many thanks." Old Fei Tian very happily smiled and said. This caused many people to secretly sigh with emotion. Old Fei Tian not only gave such a great gift to someone, he even thanked them. Ing Qingyu rolled his eyes, walked over, took out a Regent Origin Stone, and handed it over to Hong Mengshu. He said with smile, "Miss Mengshu, this is my gift to you. Even though that brat is my slave, he is only joking around. Please don't take offense." Hong Mengshu took the stone with smile. Soon after, those 10 half-immortals walked over one after another, took out the Regent Origin Stones that they have treasured for many years, and gave them to Hong Mengshu. In just a short while, Hong Mengshu received more than 10 Regent Origin Stones. Those younger generation's eyes are incomparably red. Even some old martial kings and martial emperors here are jealous in their hearts. More than 10 Regent Origin Stones are a great amount of wealth. Back when Hong Mengshu followed Qin Yun, she earned a lot of purple crystal coins. And now, she has not even done anything, and someone else has given her a great amount of good things. This made her even more certain that Qin Yun is her lucky star. Hong Ying is also very happy to see his daughter's great harvest. Half an hour later, Qin Yun came out holding the halberd. Just as he came out, old Fei Tian brought Tian Siyu and Tian Dajiang over. "Young Master Yun, we were wrong. Please forgive us." Tian Siyu lowered her head and said, "Young Master Yun, we are sorry. It is all my fault for looking down on you." Tian Dajiang also lowered his head and said. After Qin Yun came out, he saw the expression of those people and more or less understood what is going on. At this time, Tian Siyu and Tian Dajiang also knelt down. Qin Yun said with smile, forget it. Let's just let this matter pass." Old Fei Tian sighed in admiration and said, "As expected, a venerable master, truly broad-minded." Tian Siyu and Tian Dajiang also promptly thanked Qin Yun for forgiving them. Hunchback General Manager also walked over, took the halberd, and poured his power into it. Immediately, golden light flickered. Cries of alarm burst out in the hall. The damaged halberd has truly been repaired. Only half an hour, and it has been repaired. Venerable Master's level is truly high. Hunchback General Manager exclaimed in admiration. Old Fei Tian said, "Venerable Master, I just gave Miss Mengshu a Regent Origin Stone. It is just a meager gift. I will surely give her even better gifts in the future. I also gave. Qingyu walked over with beaming smile. The quality of my Regent Origin Stone is much better than old Fate Yin's. Other half-immortals also loudly shouted one after another, saying that they all gave Hong Mengshu Regent Origin Stones. Hong Mengshu smiled at Qin Yun charmingly. Qin Yun cupped his hands towards those half-immortals, then looked at Lei Xiong and said, "Old Tian, can you let him off?" Chapter 900. Brothers meet again. Lei Xiong is dumbstruck. He looked at Qin Yun and suddenly has the urge to kneel down and thank him. He seems to have forgotten that there is a throwing knife talisman weapon inside his Dao core. Gong Fian clenched her teeth. She also hastily walked over and said in low voice, "Young Master Yun, my daughter had eyes but failed to see. I have offended you greatly. Please forgive me." She only dared to go over because she saw how magnanimous Qin Yun was. Regardless of whether it was useful or not, she had to apologize first. "I'm fine." Qin Yun looked at Hong Mengshu. "Mengshu, I'm sorry. After I return to the Gong family, I will definitely ask the elders to take out some gifts to apologize to you." Gong Fian said to Hong Mengshu. Her tone is filled with pleading. She frowned slightly and bit her lips, tears welling up in her beautiful eyes. "Don't forget what you said. I'll be waiting for your gift of apology." Hong Mengshu snorted. "I will definitely keep it in mind." Gong Fian revealed a smile and nodded. Old Fei Tian said with smile, "Venerable Master, is it convenient for you now? If it's convenient, how about we talk about it in detail?" "All right," Qin Yun said. "Wait," Hunchback General Manager said with smile. "Great Master, this is my reward for you." Qin Yun took the storage bag. There are 5 Regent Origin Stones inside. Although their quality is ordinary, it is better than nothing. Anyway, it didn't take much effort for him to get here. Old Fei Tian said with smile, "Venerable Master, let's talk inside the secret room." Qin Yun and Old Fei Tian entered the secret room and closed the door. Qingyu said with smile, "This Old Fei Tian must have some good treasure, but he doesn't want us to know. Truly a crafty old fox." The hunchbacked general manager said, "Brother you also have a lot of good things in your hands, right?" Qingyu chuckled and said, "You flatter me. I have a nickname in transcending Xianxi region. I am called Trash King because I have a lot of trash in my hands." At this time, Lei Xiong walked over and said to Hong Mengshu, "Miss Mengshu, when the great master comes out, can you ask him to help me take out the throwing knives? He will help you get it. You've also seen it. Brother Yun is a reasonable person. As long as you don't provoke him, he is very easy to talk to." Hong Mengshu said, Yes. It's all our fault. We didn't respect him." Lei Xiong quickly said, "He's not old." Hong Mengshu giggled. Less than half an hour later, Qin Yun and Old Fei Tian came out. Old Fei Tian's plump old face is filled with smiles. He is smiling so much that his eyes have turned into slits. Qin Yun only managed to repair a half-immortal tool for Old Fei Tian in a very simple manner. There was a problem with 3 sets of moon runes on the quasi-immortal artifact. Qin Yun has mastered quite a few moon runes, so he doesn't need Immo Mo's help to repair them. Furthermore, it's very fast. This made Old Fei Tian admire him even more. Naturally, Old Fei Tian also gave Qin Yun a few Regent Origin Stones as thanks. To Qin Yun, this is just a matter of raising his hand. Earning 5 Regent Origin Stones like this is already very good. After Qin Yun left, he exchanged greetings with those people and then helped Lei Xiong take out the throwing knife. The half-immortal elder of Qianfeng sect also wants Lei Xiong to return to Qianfeng sect. But Lei Xiong refused. What caused people to be astonished is that Lei Xiong wants to follow Qin Yun and become his follower. And what caused people to be even more astonished is that Qin Yun refused. Lei Xiong feels very regretful and left Divine Inscription Palace. Soon after, Hunchback General Manager brought Qin Yun, Hong Mengshu, and Hong Ying to Divine Inscription Palace's VIP suite. Hong Ying said, "Sure, you will follow Xiao Yun for a period of time. I'll be very relieved. After you enter a sect, send me a message. I want to go out and take a walk." "All right." Hong Mengshu giggled and said, "Daddy, I am not a child anymore. You don't need to worry about me. Hong Ying nodded and walked out of the suite. Qin Yun is in the living room, tasting fragrant fruit juice. After Hong Mengshu brought Hong Ying out of Divine Inscription Palace, she returned to the living room. Brother Yun, you are truly something. Just casually doing a few things, and my harvest is so bountiful. Hong Mengshu patted Qin Yun's shoulder and very happily said with smile. She took out a few Regent Origin stones and placed them on the ground. I will give you half. Qin Yun said with smile. Keep them for yourself. They are gifts from others. I don't want them. Hong Mengshu said with frown. How can this be? If not for you, how could those crafty old fools be willing to gift me such precious things? Keep them. Then again, I don't lack them. Qin Yun said with smile. Hong Mengshu giggled and said, It seems like you have quite a few in your hands. Qin Yun pinched Hong Mengshu's face and said with smile, Sister Dreaming Pig, did you miss Yueme during this period of time? Hong Mengshu pouted and said in slight anger, Don't call me Dreaming Pig. It is that wretched girl Yueme who has led you astray. Of course I miss her. I want to pinch her cheeks. Qin Yun said with smile, She did not lead me astray. When we were together, she never mentioned you. Hong Mengshu immediately stamped her foot and angrily cursed. That wretched girl, she is too heartless. When we parted, she was so sad. It hasn't been that long, and she has already forgotten me. Qin Yun cannot help but let out a long laugh. Brother Yun, what is going on between you and that brother Yu? Hong Mengshu curiously asked. Is it really like what he said, that you kneeled down and begged to become his slave? That old fox. Qin Yun said with smile. Do you think it is possible? It is all because he loves to pretend. He deliberately said that. I don't think it is a big deal. I just let him pretend. Hong Mengshu cursed in low voice. I knew it. Qin Yun said. Mengshu, how long have you and your father been in Xian Domain? Hong Mengshu thought about it and said, Some time. We met those two hoodlums Red-Eyed Chicken and Murong Darren, as well as Huizhong and Xia Wufeng. Red-Eyed Chicken is Hong Yin. He is also Hong Ying's son. Although he often quarrels with Murong Darren, their relationship is very good and they often fool around everywhere. Boss Xie and the others are actually in Xian Domain. No wonder I never heard any news about them. How'd they end up in Xian Domain? Qin Yun very happily said. Hong Mengshu said, Back when they entered Spirit Desolate, they made some mistakes. Luckily, they managed to smoothly reach Ordinary Realm. Then they met that old man from Xian Domain and went to Xian Domain. Very good. I have not seen them for a long time. I wonder how they are doing. Qin Yun cannot help but recall what happened in Martial Desolate. I don't know. I only know that Xia Wufeng has become very strong. Hong Mengshu said. That is for sure. Boss Xie is very hardworking. Moreover, he is very talented. Qin Yun said with smile. Suddenly someone knocked on the door. Qin Yun doesn't need to guess. He knows that it is Ying Chengyu. He opened the door with his mental power and saw Ying Chengyu, whose face is filled with hypocritical smile, walk in. Brother Yun, do you have time now? Help me repair a magic tool. Ying Chengyu said with smile. 6 Regent Origin Stones. Qin Yun said. I am very familiar with you, 4. Ying Chengyu said with smile. Old Fei Tian and that hunchback general manager both gave me 8 Regent Origin Stones. You have the nerve to only give me 4? Qin Yun rolled his eyes and said, Brother Yun, don't lie to me. They only gave you 5 each. Ying Chengyu chuckled and said, All right then, you also give me 5. I will help you repair it. Qin Yun curled his lips and said. Ying Chengyu took out an old set of armor. This set of armor was pieced together by pieces of hard plates and then connected with special silk threads. It is very ancient, Qin Yun said with frown. Indeed, this is a defensive armor. It should be considered a king tool. Take a look and see whether or not you can repair it. Ying Chengyu rubbed his hands and said with smile, How come I didn't know that you have this kind of ability before? Hong Mengshu said with smile, Brother Yu, he is your slave? You don't even know this. Miss Mengshu, don't laugh at me. I already said before that he became my slave for fun. Ying Chengyu said. Qin Yun took out mental resonance Xian Pen and began repairing the damaged star and moon runes. The ancient star and moon runes he obtained from Inscription Gate are very commonly used in the past, but they have been lost in time. Through the bright runes, he can tell that they are star and moon runes that he is very familiar with. He doesn't need MOMO to condense blood spirit power and carve new runes. Not long after, Qingyun finished. Ing Qingyu took out 5 region origin stones and gave them to Qingyun. He curled his lips and said, "You casually made a few moves and earned a few region origin stones. It took me more than 10 years to find them. Do you have the ability to repair them yourself?" Qingyun took them and said with smile. Ing Qingyu looked at his ancient set of armor. After testing it, he is very satisfied. "You won't be staying here for long, right?" Ing Qingyu asked. "I want to stroll around with Mengshu." Qingyun looked at Hong Mengshu and said, "But I will stay in Divine Inscription Palace for a few days. Your matter will spread out very quickly. However, no one knows your real name. You don't need to worry. If someone comes looking for you, Hunchback General Manager will block them." Ing Qingyu said. He knows that Qingyun has a great enemy here. It is Xian Domain Dragon Sect. "All right," Qingyun nodded. "Remember, you must not expose your identity by any means. When you go out, it would be best if you disguise yourself." Ing Qingyu warned. "I know. Brother Yu, where do you plan to go?" Qingyun asked. "Me? I will also stroll around and fish up some things." Ing Qingyu said with smile. "I've been swindled by you, you brat. Those broken things, what can they amount to?" Qingyun said. Ing Qingyu cursed a few times in low voice and then left. Qingyun looked at Hong Mengshu and asked, "Mengshu, I heard that many great powers in Xian Domain are fighting. Is it true?" It was very intense before, but now it has stopped. All sides have suffered great losses, so they have temporarily stopped fighting. But my father said that the reason for this is not simple. As for the specific reason, I also don't know. Hong Mengshu said. Qingyun is also very curious about the reason. He can only investigate later. He asked again, "Mengshu, which great sect do you want to join? We will go in a few days." Chapter 901. Chapter 9, 100 Pagoda Sect. Qingyun very much wants to see Xia Wufeng and the others as soon as possible. He nodded and said, "All right. Which sects are they from?" 100 Pagoda Sect. This is a first-rate sect. They have more than 100 half-immortals. Hong Mengshu said. Qingyun learned about the situation of the sects from Ing Qingyu on the way to Xian Domain. Although this 100 Pagoda Sect is a first-rate sect, it is not the strongest or the best in Xian Domain. Brother Yun, 100 Pagoda Sect situation is rather complicated. In short, it is a very good great sect. My master was once a disciple of 100 Pagoda Sect. Hong Mengshu said. "Oh, that's right. How strong is your master? You left Qian Feng's sect just like that. Is there no problem?" Qingyun asked. "My master is an old granny. She is peak martial emperor. She told me to use Qian Feng's sect as a springboard to enter 100 Pagoda Sect. Now that I have met you, I feel that with your help, I should be able to enter 100 Pagoda Sect smoothly." Mengshu, your master's background is not small. Qingyun saw many young disciples before. They're either jealous of Hong Mengshu or don't dare to provoke her. She is after all a disciple of 100 Pagoda Sect. She also has a master in 100 Pagoda Sect. She is a half-immortal. I only became a martial king so quickly with master's help. Hong Mengshu said with smile. Because she is in Qian Feng's sect, Qian Feng's sect disciples can easily enter 100 Pagoda Sect with her recommendation. It seems like your master is in Qian Feng's sect to poach people. Qingyun said with smile. More or less. Hong Mengshu stuck out her tongue. Suddenly a voice came from outside. It is Hunchback General Manager yelling, "Great Master! Miss Mengshu, Grandma Wang is here. Master is here." Hong Mengshu is somewhat amazed and immediately opened the door. After opening the door, Qingyun saw Hong Mengshu's master. It is that Grandma Wang. She is tall and thin. Her face is filled with wrinkles. Her hair is half black and half white. She is not too old. Her face was ice cold, and her pair of bright eyes also carried a kind of breathtaking chill. Granny Wang held a black stick in her hand, which seemed to be her walking stick. She wore a set of grayish-white clothes and a robe. "Master, you should have heard about what happened here." Hong Mengshu suddenly said in a low voice, somewhat worried. "Hello, Grandma Wang." Qin Yun walked over and called out softly. Granny Wang looked at Qin Yun and said, "You want to help Mengshu enter 100 Pagoda sect? Are you sure?" Qin Yun thought about it, then shook his head and said, "I don't know, because I still don't know the specific requirements to enter 100 Pagoda sect. Entering 100 Pagoda sect is very difficult. There is no shortcut. What I can do is to help Mengshu get a place in the assessment. And passing the assessment is the most difficult. There might even be casualties." Grandma Wang said, "Mengshu's current strength is not enough. I don't want you to take her risk." "Then what kind of strength does she need?" asked Qin Yun. "One dragon force," the hunchback general manager said. "This is the most basic if you want to have complete confidence in passing the assessment. Twin dragon power is enough." Qin Yun's brows are creased. He looked at Hong Mengshu and asked, "What is one dragon force?" Hunchback general manager said with smile, "Great master, you are from transcending Xianxi region. You don't know about the strength test here. Because Xian domain was ruled by Dragon Sect for a very long time, Dragon Sect used this name to test strength. Actually, this is very similar to many strength tests. Dragon Sect refined many dragon bells to test strength. So long as you hit the bell with power, the bell will let out a dragon roar, and then some small dragons will fly out. The illusory image of a small dragon will fly out. That is the power of one dragon. Generally speaking, initial stage martial kings can at most make the dragon bell shake. They can't even make the bell make a sound, let alone make small dragons appear. Qin Yun recalled Long Shengquang from before. They used a kind of drum to test strength. It is commonly used in many places. "Mengshu, did you try it?" Qin Yun asked. Hong Mengshu nodded, lightly curled her small mouth, and said, "I tried. I didn't reach the standard." Granny Wang said, "Mengshu, since you didn't reach the standard, don't force it. Wait until you have the power of one dragon. I will surely help you fight for a spot in the assessment. 5 days later, I will let her have the power of one dragon." Qin Yun said with smile, "Granny Wang, come back in 5 days and take her to the assessment." "You? How can you do it?" Even though she obtained more than 10 region origin stones, it is impossible for her to absorb them all in a short period of time. Granny Wang shook her head and said, "Then 10 days it is. 10 days later, I will let Mengshu have the power of one dragon." Qin Yun very confidently said with smile, "All right, if you can do it, I will personally take her to 100 Pagoda sect." Granny Wang also knows that Qin Yun is a great master. Although she doesn't dare to believe it, she can only wait and see. Granny Wang and hunchbacked general manager left. After Hong Mengshu closed the door, she curiously said with smile, "Brother Yun, how do you plan to increase my power?" Qin Yun said with smile, "Mengshu, you have been together with Yuan Mei for so long. Did she teach you Sun and Moon Heart Sutra?" "Of course she did. But even if we cultivate together, it is not possible to absorb energy from region origin stone so quickly. It is very difficult to absorb energy from region origin stone. It is impossible to do so within 10 days. Hong Mengshu shook her head and said. Qin Yun pulled her into the secret room, then spread out a large beast skin on the ground. This beast skin has 9 condensing sun rune carved on it. It is a small-scale formation. When Qin Yun and Xian Rujing cultivated together, he accidentally carved 9 condensing sun rune on region origin stone and made the stone release a lot of energy. Then he thought of using 9 condensing sun rune to refine a formation to extract energy from region origin stone. This formation was created by him and Jian Linglong together. Take out your region origin stones and place them on the formation. Put on this formation, Qin Yun said with smile. Hong Mengshu took out more than 10 region origin stones and placed them on the formation. Soon after, Qin Yun let Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingsheng come out of the 9 Sun Divine Soul's first pearl. Hong Mengshu also knows these 2 beautiful women. She did not expect them to be together with Qin Yun. This pair of charming and enchanting beauties were both wearing purple clothes, especially Shui Tianzi, this peerless beauty. She only wore a purple gauze dress, and one could see her smooth, jade-like skin through the gauze. Sister Steam Bun, Water Fairy, you have become martial kings for some time. Your cultivation should have stabilized, right? Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. As soon as he saw Zi Qingsheng, he can't help but extend his hand and pinch her beautiful smooth face. Zi Qingsheng is already used to it. Every time she is pinched, she has a helpless expression. Those martial king runic heart fruits can only let us become martial kings. Their effect is not that great. Zi Qingsheng curled her lips. Now, let's cultivate together. Qin Yun looked at Hong Mengshu and said with smile. Shui Tianzi also mischievously played with Hong Mengshu's 2 ponytails. From time to time, she used her jade-like hands filled with seductive, bewitching aura to touch Hong Mengshu's face. Hong Mengshu also politely greeted these 2 seniors. Let's not waste any more time. Let's begin, Qin Yun said. Qin Yun also needs to absorb energy from region origin stones to increase his cultivation. He is now late-stage martial king. If he wants to reach peak stage, he will need to consume many region origin stones. After the formation was activated, region origin stones' energy was released. This caused Hong Mengshu to feel very shocked. Because in Xian domain, many people have been searching for a method to quickly absorb energy from region origin stone for several tens of thousands of years. But no one has found it. Although some people have found a method to break the formation, they have not spread it. Just like Qin Yun, he has this method, but he has not spread it. Region origin stone's energy is very berserk, so Qin Yun absorbed most of it. Then Zi Qingsheng, Shui Tianzi, and Hong Mengshu absorbed the rest. After Qin Yun absorbed the energy, he sent it out and let the 3 women use Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to refine the energy. This way, more than 10 region origin stones can be used by a few people. The effect is also very good. Otherwise, if they cultivated separately, they would need to absorb more than 10 region origin stones to achieve this kind of cultivation effect. Hong Mengshu can sense that the energy entering her body is very strong. She also understands why Qin Yun is so confident that he can increase her strength within 10 days. This kind of region origin stone absorption speed is simply terrifying. Otherwise, she would need several years or even several decades to completely consume the energy of more than 10 region origin stones. Qin Yun brought Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingsheng because he wants to cultivate together with them. Generally speaking, as long as there are 2 women cultivating together, the effect will be the best. If many people cultivate together, then 1 or 2 stronger women will be needed to lead the energy transmission. Qin Yun tried it before. At that time, Jian Linglong and Bing Xing were there. 7 days passed by. Shui Tianzi somewhat excitedly said, "Little brother Yun, we are breaking through so quickly. Isn't this not too good?" Zi Qingsheng is also somewhat worried. She said with frown, "This kind of breakthrough speed is not in accordance with common sense. Me and Water Fairy just became martial kings not long ago. We are about to enter mid-stage martial king very soon." Hong Mengshu said, "It is indeed so fast that it makes people feel uneasy." Qin Yun said with smile, "I am younger than you guys, but I am a late-stage martial king. I cultivate it like this. Don't worry, don't worry." Hong Mengshu doesn't know Qin Yun's cultivation. Now that she knows that Qin Yun is a late-stage martial king, she is astonished in her heart, but also relieved a lot, because now she can peacefully break through. After Hong Mengshu, Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi absorbed more than 10 region origin stones. They broke through to martial king realm. All right, now as long as you can control the power of mid-stage martial king, you can continue cultivating, Qin Yun said with smile. Shui Tianzi is very happy. She kissed Qin Yun's face and returned to the Nine-Sun Divine Soul. Before returning, Qin Yun rubbed Zi Qingsheng's beautiful face. It has only been 7 days. Hong Mengshu said with smile, "With my current cultivation, I can surely ring the dragon bell, but I feel that it is not enough." Qin Yun said, Then, then what else do you want to do? Hong Meng-shu is somewhat puzzled. Chapter 902. Two Dragon Power. Hong Meng-shu is also pleasantly surprised. She said with smile, "What kind of totem do you want to carve on me? What kind of totem do you want?" Qin Yun is also thinking about what kind of totem will be suitable for Hong Meng-shu. Brother Yun, it seems like you have mastered many totem runes. Hong Meng-shu somewhat excitedly said, "I want a beast totem. Fire attribute is the best." Qin Yun recalled the ninth heaven Xian Sparrow totem. This is a very strong beast totem. All right, no problem. I will carve on your arm. Roll up your sleeves, Qin Yun said with smile. Carve on my arm. Hong Meng-shu rolled up her sleeves and said with charming smile, "When I fight, I will use the power of totem runes. It will surely be very strong." Hong Meng-shu sat on a chair and placed her hands on the table. Qin Yun used mental resonance, Xian Pen, and began carving totem runes. He is carving ninth heaven Xian Sparrow totem runes. Qin Yun has totem inscription spirit, wildfire inscription spirit, and beast king inscription spirit. This way, these three inscription spirits can be put to good use. This means that the ninth heaven Xian Sparrow totem runes he carves will have very high degree of finesse. Qin Yun is also experimenting. He wants to see if he can carve totem runes on a person's body and release even stronger power. Because he has many kinds of inscription spirits, Qin Yun can carve complex and profound ninth heaven Xian Sparrow totem very quickly. There is a palm-sized totem rune on Hong Meng-shu's arm. It is fiery red and is releasing faint flame light. Truly mystical. It makes me feel like my arm is alive. Hong Meng-shu looked at her arm and said in amazement, "Meng-shu, you don't have totem runes on your left hand. You can compare the power of your left hand and right hand." Qin Yun is very curious. Hong Meng-shu nodded her head and released Xian Dao power from her body. Two strands of Xian Dao power entered her arms. The Xian Dao power that entered Hong Meng-shu's right hand released a very strong flame energy aura through the totem runes. And because Hong Meng-shu's left hand doesn't have totem runes, the energy aura released by her right hand is much weaker than her right hand. Strengthened a lot. Hong Meng-shu very happily smiled and said, "Brother Yun, thank you. With my current strength, I can definitely pass the test easily. Come, carve a totem on your left hand." Qin Yun said with smile. He is secretly happy in his heart. This was because he had mastered the art of carving totem carvings on human bodies. By carving the totem carvings on his body, he would be able to gain even greater strength. That was what the people from Totem Pavilion had done before. However, their carving techniques were very crude and their finesse was very low. The increase in strength was limited. Hong Meng-shu's hands are carved with totem runes. When she releases her Xian Dao energy, her arms can produce very strong flames. "Meng-shu, don't let people easily see your totem runes," Qin Yun said. "Got it." Hong Meng-shu nodded. "How about this? I will carve a set of totem carvings on your abdomen. It should be able to protect your Dao core." Qin Yun had an idea. He planned to carve the tree totem on Hong Meng-shu's abdomen to see if it would have any effect. All right. Hong Meng-shu was also very willing. She directly laid on a table and lifted her clothes. Qin Yun is very familiar with tree totem. He also has totem inscription spirit, so his carving speed is not slow. "Brother Yun, what kind of totem are you carving on my arm? It looks like a bird." Hong Meng-shu curiously asked. "A firebird. You must properly use it in the future. Maybe you can comprehend martial arts from the totem runes." Qin Yun said with smile. "It is not easy to obtain a totem, but you can easily help people obtain one." Hong Meng-shu exclaimed in admiration and said, "Brother Yun, you are truly awesome. I can also carve totem runes on your martial spirit." Qin Yun said with smile. "I won't carve my martial spirit for now. Let's talk about it later." Hong Meng-shu asked, "What kind of totem are you carving on my abdomen?" "Tree totem." Qin Yun finished in a short while. Hong Meng-shu closed her eyes to sense and said, "So mysterious. It feels like my Dao core is tightly entangled by tree roots. You should familiarize yourself with totem and Xian Dao power in 2 or 3 days. I will first go into seclusion, Qin Yun said. All right. Hong Mengshu also entered a secret room to temper her power and totem's compatibility. After Qin Yun entered the room, he let Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingsheng come out. Zi Qingsheng's martial spirit is purple gold pung martial spirit. Qin Yun wants to carve 9th heaven Xian sparrow totem on her martial spirit to see the effect. Zi Qingsheng's and Shui Tianzi's martial spirits are not very good, so Qin Yun wants to help them transform and transform them. It is also because their cultivation is very high now that Qin Yun dares to do it. Even if something goes wrong with their cultivation, they won't be in too much danger. 3 days passed by. Zi Qingqing's purple gold pung martial spirit has 9th heaven Xian sparrow totem. Shui Tianzi's martial spirit has been refined into purple gold fire dragon martial spirit by Qin Yun. You should first familiarize yourselves with these totem runes. If everything goes smoothly, I will carve even more totem runes on your bodies, Qin Yun said with a smile. When the time comes, you will carve totem runes all over my body. I want to cultivate immortal dragon body, Shui Tianzi said with charming smile. This is your request. Don't say that I am taking advantage of you. Qin Yun looked at Shui Tianzi's fiery hot body and thin clothes and said with curled lips, I don't mind you taking advantage of me. Shui Tianzi giggled and said. Qin Yun glanced at Zi Qingsheng and said, Sister Steamed Bun, if you encounter any other situation, you must quickly inform me, because this kind of thing is still in the testing stage. Zi Qingsheng nodded and said, when we encounter any situation, we will surely inform you. Qin Yun thought about it. He is still a bit worried. Then he put them into the 9-Sun Divine Soul's 3rd pearl and let Yao Fong guide them. Yao Fong is also bored anyway. Letting these 2 women accompany her is also not bad. Daybreak arrived. The appointed time with Grandma Wang has arrived. Grandma Wang and Hunchback General Manager arrived at Qin Yun's room. Hunchback General Manager said with smile, I have a dragon bell here. Let's go test it. Hong Mengshu is already very impatient. She promptly followed behind Hunchback General Manager and arrived at the Divine Inscription Palace's basement. In the basement of Divine Inscription Palace, there's a large golden bell with a dragon carved on it. It is several meters tall. It is much bigger than Qin Yun imagined. Hong Mengshu deeply inhaled a mouthful of air, then rushed towards the large dragon-carved bell and poured her Xian Dao power into it. The large bell shook and let out a dragon roar. The energy Hong Mengshu poured into the large bell was transformed by the large bell and transformed into 2 small golden dragons that flew out and started lingering around the large bell. 2 dragon power! Hunchback General Manager's countenance changed as he cried out in alarm. How is this possible? Mengshu, 10 days ago you did not even have 1 dragon power. Grandma Wang is incomparably shocked. She looked at Qin Yun, who is all smiles. You even entered mid-stage Martial King. Even if you broke through, you should not have 2 dragon power. Hong Mengshu still has not used totem power, otherwise she would be even stronger. The reason why her Xian Dao power is so strong is because she cultivated Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. The energy inside the Dao core has been refined by Qin Yun's immortal devil body and Nether Sun power. It is not ordinary Xian Dao power. Master, can I go to 100 Pagoda Sect now? Hong Mengshu very happily asked. If Qin Yun did not tell her to hide her power, she would have been able to release 3 dragon power. You can, Grandma Wang said. Now, when she looks at Qin Yun, there is some reverence in her heart. Master, can you also help Brother Yun obtain a quota for the assessment? Hong Mengshu asked in low voice. With his strength, he can surely pass the assessment. This. I can only obtain 1 quota, moreover 1 every 10 years. Grandma Wang said with some difficulty. No problem. Let Mengshu take the assessment first. It doesn't matter if I go to 100 Pagoda Sect or not. Qin Yun said. Hunchback General Manager said with smile. With Venerable Master's ability, even 100 Pagoda Sect will make an exception and recruit him, right? Grandma Wang nodded and said, Of course. After all, He is an outstanding young inscription master. Qin Yun said, I have other things to do. I don't want to join any sect for now. He came to Xian Domain to find the Nether Sun Spirit. Apart from this, he also wants to understand the situation of the various factions here. Naturally, Xian Domain Dragon Sect is also his goal. If Mengshu passes the assessment, she can bring one person with her. However, he cannot enjoy the same treatment as her, but he can be together with her. If he doesn't want to stay in 100 Pagoda Sect, he can leave at any time. Grandma Wang said, it is like a bookkeeper accompanying her to study. Hunchback General Manager said with smile, Venerable Master, if you want to go to 100 Pagoda Sect to broaden your horizons, you can use this method to enter. All right, Qin Yun nodded. Every year, there is a unified assessment time. It will be held in 2 months. Grandma Wang said, we can set off now. We can reach the vicinity of 100 Pagoda Sect in around 10 days. There's still 2 months? Qin Yun said with frown. Brother Yun, if you have other matters, you can come to 100 Pagoda Sect to find us after 2 months. Hong Mengshu said. Qin Yun took out a sound transmission magic tool, handed it over to Hong Mengshu, and said, I don't know if I can get there in 2 months. I will try my best. Grandma Wang said, Mengshu will surely pass the assessment. When the time comes, go find her and ask her to apply to 100 Pagoda Sect people. They will be able to bring you in. All right, Qin Yun nodded. Grandma Wang left Divine Inscription Palace with Hong Mengshu and headed towards 100 Pagoda Sect. They want to go there in advance to clearly understand the situation of this assessment. Qin Yun continued to stay inside Divine Inscription Palace. He arrived at a secret room, took out the immortal graveyard diagram, and contacted Siakaru. Sister Kiru, I have arrived at Xian Domain. The Nether Sun Spirit you sensed is inside Xian Domain. Qin Yun said, I will use the immortal graveyard diagram to sense it. Siakaru said. After a while, Siakaru said, Indeed, the Nether Sun Spirit is indeed inside. Sister Kiru, how is your comprehension of heavenly might Dao technique? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 903. Phantom Academy. Sister Kiru, I obtained another Dao technique called Star-Breaking Palm. Reportedly, it was created based on martial spirits. Qin Yun said, Star-Shattering Palm? I don't think I've heard of it before. Can you read it out for me? Siakaru is very curious and pleasantly surprised. Xiao Yun, if it really is a Dao technique created for martial spirits, then it would be easier to learn. Qin Yun quickly took out a mirror and recorded the mantra of the Star-Shattering Palm. He carefully read it to Siakaru. After Siakaru finished listening, she said in astonishment, This seems to be the Star Transformation Dao technique. Star Transformation Dao art? How strong are they? What's their ranking? Qin Yun quickly asked. Rank 29th. Siakaru said, but Star Breaking Palm is modified from Star Transformation Dao technique. Moreover, it is a Dao technique exclusive to Vibration Martial Spirit. I can't say for sure how powerful it is. This kind of improved Dao art doesn't have a ranking. Qin Yun knew nothing about these Dao techniques, but he was very interested. Siakaru said again, Xiao Yun, you can only learn this Star Breaking Palm by yourself because you have Vibration Martial Spirit. Furthermore, your Vibration Martial Spirit is the kind that you were born with, not transplanted into your body. If you were to learn exclusive Dao technique, it would be even easier. All right, I will comprehend when I have time. Sister Kiru, tell me the location of the Nether Sun Spirit. Qin Yun nodded and said. Siakaru told Qin Yun the direction and warned him to be careful of danger. Qin Yun put away the immortal graveyard diagram and walked out of the chamber. Then he set off on his journey. Before leaving the Divine Inscription Palace, he asked the hunchbacked general manager for a map. The maps here were very interesting. They were all mirror-like objects, and the map was engraved inside. You could zoom in and out with your finger, and you could also determine your location and direction. Qin Yun left the Divine Inscription Palace and walked out of the city. He ran in the direction Siakaru said. He flew in the air and took out the map mirror to check the direction he was going and what would be on the way. What a coincidence! 100 Pagoda Sect is in that direction, Qin Yun said in his heart. Xiao Yun, a place with nether sun spirit, is definitely a dangerous place. Ling Yun suddenly said, "Look, is there any dangerous place in that direction on the map?" "Why must there be danger zones?" asked Qin Yun curiously. "The nether sun spirit has built a very dangerous place for many years to protect itself from being discovered or to test the people who are looking for it. In short, it is not easy to obtain the nether sun spirit," Ling Yun said. Qin Yun looked in that direction and carefully looked around. He did not see any danger zone mark. "There is no danger zone in the direction," Sister Kiru said. Qin Yun said, "Xiao Yun, if we really get close to the nether sun spirit, it's best not to rush in to find it. Wait for Yang Yang, the ninth heaven Xian sparrow, to awaken, or wait for your devil star tyrant dragon puppet to successfully transform," Ling Yun very seriously warned. All right. Qin Yun also knows that Ling Yun is doing this for his own good. Devil Star Overlord Dragon was the name given by Ling Yun after the Devil Star Overlord and the Bone Dragon fused. Qin Yun was also very curious about how strong he would become after the metamorphosis. "I wonder which one is faster, Yang Yang or the Devil Star Overlord Dragon," Qin Yun said with smile. "It's hard to say," Ling Yun said with smile. "If Yang Yang successfully evolves, she will become very strong. Moreover, she will also eat your dragon meat at that time." Speaking of dragon meat, Qin Yun recalled Long Tianji, the poison dragon spider. Qin Yun gave her a large piece of immortal dragon meat to eat. Because she ate too much, she is now motionless all day, digesting that large piece of immortal dragon meat. A few days later, Qin Yun arrived at a medium-sized city. He entered this city to inquire about the danger zones in the vicinity. Ling Yun said that the area where the Nether Sun Spirit is located is filled with all kinds of natural dangers and traps. It should be a bit famous. Qin Yun is not familiar with this place. Luckily, there is Divine Inscription Palace here. Wherever there is Divine Inscription Palace, purple crystal cards can be used. Purple crystal coins can also be used. Qin Yun is close to 20 billion purple crystal coins. With this amount of wealth, it will be very easy for him to inquire about information. He strolled around the city, went to many taverns and tea houses where old men gather, but did not inquire about any danger zones in the vicinity. He only knows that there is one person who knows about this matter. That person is an old madman. All day long, he is crazily telling all kinds of stories on the street. His stories are very mysterious, so nobody believes him. Old Madman is also a bit famous here because his stories are very vivid. Many ordinary people want to listen to his stories. After Qin Yun inquired about it, he arrived at a rather high-grade restaurant. The first floor of the restaurant is very spacious. There are many small tables. 2 or 3 people are sitting at a table, drinking wine and chatting. And in the middle of the restaurant, there is a very well-dressed, very scholarly white-haired old man. He is using a very mysterious and deep tone to tell a story. It is about ghosts and monsters. Qin Yun also sat down and listened to the old man's story. The first floor of the restaurant is very quiet. Everyone is earnestly listening to the old man's story. "I have finished telling the story about ghosts and monsters. It is all true," Old Madman said with a smile. Many people let out a burst of hissing. They don't believe that it is true. Because the old madman's story is very dreadful, he can easily possess martial kings and martial emperors. At night, he can even use his powerful ghost claws to tear open martial emperors' bodies, drink their blood, and eat their flesh. How can martial emperors and martial kings be so weak? No matter how dreadful ghosts are, they are just soul bodies. They can't defeat martial kings and martial emperors with powerful body. Exactly. Forget about martial kings and martial emperors. Even Xian martial realm, Dao monarchs, can't defeat them. Old Madman, you are not a martial king, but you should have seen a martial king, right? Are martial kings really that weak? Many people present are questioning Old Madman's story. After all, it is completely divorced from reality. Old Madman said with a smile, "It is not that martial kings and martial emperors are too weak. It is rather that ghost kings are too strong. You have never seen them, so you don't know how dreadful they are. Everyone has finished listening to the story. If you think it is good, tip me some purple crystal coins or buy me some good wine. Qin Yun is wearing a conical bamboo hat. His face is covered with beard. He took out a large bag of purple crystal coins and placed it on the old madman's table. He said with smile, "Old mister, can you tell me a story alone?" When everyone saw this, they are secretly amazed. Qin Yun's bag of purple crystal coins is not a small amount. There are several thousand of them. Several thousand purple crystal coins is not a small amount for most ordinary people. Majority of the people here are ordinary people. Because martial artists with a bit of strength don't want to listen to these senseless stories, because they themselves have encountered many dreadful things. Warrior, let's talk inside. Old Madman picked up the bag of purple crystal coins and pointed to a private room. Qin Yun followed the old madman into the private room. After the old madman closed the door, he asked, "Warrior, what story do you want to hear?" Qin Yun took out the map mirror and placed it on the table for the old madman to see. Then he circled the direction on the map and said, "I want to know if there are any dangerous areas in this direction. I have asked many people. They all said there are no dangerous areas." Old Madman carefully looked at that direction, then enlarged the map and looked at the direction marked. There is a very mysterious area in that direction. That area can only be entered at a specific time and also at a specific time. Old Madman said with frown, "I don't know the specifics. I only heard it from other people. That person has been studying this area for a very long time." "Who is it? Please introduce me," Qin Yun promptly said. Old Madman took out a pen and paper, wrote down an address and a name, and handed it over to Qin Yun. Qin Yun looked at the paper, thanked the old madman, and promptly left the city. Yu Shutian is a woman? Qin Yun looked at the paper while flying in the sky. The address written by the old madman is 100 Pagoda City, Fantasy Spirit College. 100 Pagoda City is a city near 100 Pagoda Sect. It must be a city built by 100 Pagoda Sect. What is going on with the Fantasy Spirit College? Qin Yun is very curious in his heart. Xiao Yun, if what the old madman said is true, then the Nether Sun Spirit should be hidden in that place. Go ask the Yu Shutian, see how much she knows. If necessary, it would be best to let her lead the way. 100 Pagoda City is very big. It could be considered as a big city in Xian Domain. Qin Yun flew for a few days and finally arrived at 100 Pagoda City. After entering the city, Qin Yun asked around and found the Fantasy Spirit College. The location of the Fantasy Spirit College is very good. It is the most flourishing area. Qin Yun also knows what the Fantasy Spirit College does. So long as one pays enough purple crystal coins, they can enter and learn all kind of knowledge. Apart from this, the Fantasy Spirit College also has many martial arts to learn. Moreover, it is possible to be recommended to enter 100 Pagoda Sect. 100 Pagoda Sect is so difficult to enter. How did Morong Darren and Hong Yin get in? Qin Yun doubtfully said, "Could it be that they followed Ba Xie and Hui Zhongyin?" Qin Yun arrived at the entrance of the Fantasy Spirit College. He wanted to go in to take a look, but was stopped by someone. Because people who are not students of the Fantasy Spirit College are not allowed to enter. Qin Yun has no choice but to sneak in. He has a method to enter. He can use transparent power to hide himself and easily enter from the entrance. People who can study in the Fantasy Spirit College are all from rich and powerful families. Therefore, the students here are all young masters of rich families. After Qin Yun entered, he changed into very luxurious clothes. He originally has a very handsome appearance. Now that he is wearing luxurious clothes, he can transform into a young master of a rich family. There are many people in the Fantasy Spirit College. There are more than 10,000 of them. Qin Yun cannot help but sigh. There are many aristocratic families in Xian Domain. Sending a student to study here costs several tens of millions of purple crystal coins a year. Qin Yun is pretending to be a young master of a rich family. Actually, he doesn't need to pretend. He is already very rich. If someone of his age wants to compare wealth, no one can compare to him. Chapter 904. Astrologer. Siekaru only knows the general direction of the Nether Sun Spirit. She doesn't know its exact location. Qingyun will have to look for it himself. Qingyun asked everyone in Fantasy Spirit College about Yu Shetian. Because his outer appearance is very good, he did not attract any disgust from others. Finally, he asked a teacher and found out about Yu Shetian. Yu Shetian is indeed a woman. Moreover, she is a very outstanding student. It is said that her strength is very good. She mainly studies knowledge about sun, moon, and stars in Fantasy Spirit College. She is very interested in this aspect. Moreover, she frequently goes out to find many related materials and research them together with the teachers of Fantasy Spirit College. After Qin Yun inquired about Yu Shutian's residence, he immediately rushed over. Yu Shutian is a woman. She lives in a small villa. This is the residence of women. Men are not allowed to enter. At the entrance, there's an ant in charge of guarding the door. Qin Yun walked over, and just as he was about to speak, the ant asked, "Brat, are you looking for someone?" "Yes, Ant. I'm looking for Yu Shutian. Do you know her?" Qin Yun asked. "Of course I know her. Even if there are not 1,000 people who came to look for her, I blocked them all." The ant chuckled and said, "So you can go back." Qin Yun did not expect that this Yu Shutian would be so popular. "Ant, I have an urgent matter to discuss with her." Qin Yun said. "Everyone says it's urgent. I say, you men come here to look for girls. Don't you say it's urgent?" The ant has an expression of "I understand." "You misunderstood. I am looking for her to discuss knowledge about sun, moon, and stars." Qin Yun said with smile. 5 out of 10 people who come to look for Xiao Tian say that. The ant groaned and said, "Quickly go back. Xiao Tian told me that if a man comes to look for her, she will not meet him." Qin Yun somewhat anxiously said, "I am not a man." The ant's expression is filled with amazement as she said, "You are not a man? Could it be that you are a woman? Or are you neither a man nor a woman? This is the first time I have seen such a strange reason." "I am not a man from Fantasy Spirit College," Qin Yun said in low voice. Because he is not familiar with Yu Shutian, he doesn't want to sneak in. He wants to meet Yu Shutian openly. This way he will appear more sincere. "Don't say any more. You can go back." The ant shook her head and sighed. "Annie, how about this? I'll give you some purple crystal coins." Qin Yun said, "I'm not that kind of person." The Ani's attitude was firm, and she said angrily. Qin Yun thought for a bit and said again, "Auntie, can you help me deliver a note to Miss Yu Shutian? Is it a love letter?" While speaking, the ant took out a large basket of letters and said, "Someone entrusted me to give these to her." Qin Yun suddenly feels very strange. Since Yu Shutian is so popular, why did no one tell him where she is when he went to inquire about her? It's not a love letter. It's some patterns. Qin Yun took out a piece of paper, then used mental resonance, Xian pen, and blood spirit power as ink to carve a very simple star rune. He only used bright lines. "This is a star rune bright line. Give it to her." Qin Yun said, "It's not a love letter. It's knowledge related to stars." The ant seems to be very experienced and knowledgeable. She can tell with a glance that it is a rune. She is also somewhat amazed because she saw with her own eyes how Qin Yun casually drew a few runes. "All right." The ant finally agreed and quickly left the gate. She even warned Qin Yun repeatedly not to barge in. Qin Yun is walking back and forth outside the gate. After a while, he saw a carriage coming out. A light yellow-clothed woman walked down from the carriage. Her eyebrows are moving. Her appearance is pure and sweet, beautiful and pleasant. Her beautiful eyes are as bright as stars. Her gaze seems to contain a kind of faint star aura. This woman gives people a very unique feeling. She cannot be considered very beautiful. It can be said that she does not give people a breathtaking feeling. However, she is a kind of pretty daughter of a humble family. She is quick-witted and beautiful. Carefully looking at her, one can realize that she gives people a very unique feeling. Qin Yun's perception is very strong. Just one look, and he can tell that this woman is somewhat different from ordinary people. As for what exactly is different, he can't say. Clearly, this woman is Yu Shutian. "Young master, did you carve those star runes?" Yu Shutian's face has a faint smile. Her voice is clear and beautiful. It is filled with gentleness, as she asked Qin Yun. Indeed, Qin Yun nodded and said, Miss Yu, I want to discuss with you about sun, moon, and stars. I am very interested in this aspect. Young master, what is your surname? Yu Shutian asked. Just call me Brother Yun, Qin Yun said with smile. All right, please board. Yu Shutian boarded the carriage, and Qin Yun also boarded. Yu Shutian closed the carriage door and entered the manor. Qin Yun somewhat anxiously said, Miss Yu, this is the residence of women. Will there be any problem if I go in? Yu Shutian said with gentle smile. You don't need to worry. So long as you don't say anything, no one will know that a man is here. Qin Yun laughed. Aren't you afraid that I will cause trouble inside? Yu Shutian giggled, then shook her head. I am not afraid. There are many powerful old women and female teachers inside. If you act recklessly, I am afraid you won't be able to leave the manor. She looked at the paper. Her beautiful eyes flickered with threads of red light, and said in low voice, Brother Yun, where did you get these star runes? How long did you study to be able to carve them to this level? I studied since I was small. My master taught me, Qin Yun said. He actually did not study for long because he has Star Lord Inscription Spirit. He can easily master star runes. The finesse is very high. It should be the highest finesse star rune I have ever seen. Yu Shutian looked at Qin Yun. Her beautiful eyes are filled with curiosity and doubt. Maybe because I am carving on paper, I can display my full strength. Qin Yun said with smile. Brother Yun, please forgive me for being presumptuous. Who is your master? Yu Shutian asked. He is not famous. He is just a small old man. I grew up with him. Later, he let me come out to gain experience. Qin Yun said, Miss Yu, I want to ask you about a dangerous place. He took out the map mirror and pointed at the direction to Yu Shutian. After Yu Shutian saw this, her curved eyebrows are tightly locked, and she said, This place indeed has a very mysterious, dangerous place. How do you know about it? Qin Yun said, That old crazy man told me. Yu Shutian nodded her head. That old grandpa who tells stories. I met him last time and told him some stories. Miss Yu, can you tell me how to get to that mysterious, dangerous place? I will give you a complete star rune as thanks. Qin Yun said, That place is very important to me. Yu Shutian's tone is somewhat grave as she said, As for that mysterious, dangerous place, I only discovered it by chance. I have never entered it. That dangerous place can be considered a desolate domain, but it is somewhat different from desolate domain, because at a specific time, that mysterious, dangerous place appears. Moreover, it completely appears in the space we are in and then disappears again. If it is a normal desolate domain, it is a different space that can only be reached by going through the entrance. As for that mysterious danger zone, the entire danger zone suddenly descended. The more Qin Yun listened, the more he feels that it is the place where the Nether Sun Spirit resides. Miss Yu, can you take me to that place? Qin Yun hastily asked. I can't, because I don't know exactly where it is. According to my investigation, you appear in the mysterious, dangerous place in many different places. I don't know when you appear and when you disappear. Yu Shutian shook her head. Qin Yun faintly sighed and said, Then is there any way to know when it will appear? Yu Shutian said, I am researching it. I can calculate it by observing the sun, moon, and stars, because after the mysterious, dangerous place appears and disappears, it will leave behind very strong star power. Normally, it appears at night. Then I will research it with you, Qin Yun said. How many star runes do you know? Yu Shutian thought for a bit and asked. Several, Qin Yun said. Are you an inscription master? Yu Shutian asked again. Her beautiful eyes flickered with amazement. Yes. Qin Yun nodded and said again, I don't have an inscription master badge. I'm also not a student here. I snuck in. How about this? You become my bookkeeper. Sometimes I need your help to connect star runes to star maps. Yu Shutian said. Qin Yun is still inside the carriage. He somewhat anxiously asked, Is there no problem? Yu Shutian said with smile, No problem. Many people in Fantasy Spirit College bring bookkeepers with them. The carriage entered a small courtyard. Yu Shutian and Qin Yun got off the carriage. I'm the only one living here. If you are discovered by others, just say that you are my bookkeeper. Yu Shutian took out a sound transmission conch and gave it to Qin Yun. If you encounter any trouble in the college, you can send me sound transmission. Miss you are very popular here. Qin Yun said. A3. Because I am an astrology master. Yu Shutian also feels somewhat helpless. I am very sensitive to sun, moon, and stars since birth, and I mainly cultivate star power. I am very unique here, plus I know a bit of star runes. So it's like this. Qin Yun is also secretly amazed at Yu Shutian's ability. Just as Yu Shutian entered the door, she took out the sound transmission conch and received messages from other people. She heard the content of the messages and said with frown, Yun, I have an appointment with my friends to go out and look for meteor fragments. Are you going? Of course, Qin Yun said with smile. My friends are all top 10 beauties of Fantasy Spirit College. Don't forget your manners when you see them. Oh, that's right. They will also bring along some powerful, rich family young masters. Yu Shutian said, you should change into battle equipment. Don't look good. You must have very strong defense. Chapter 905. Star fragments. After Qin Yun changed his clothes, he boarded the carriage. Yu Shutian is also wearing a set of soft armor. She looks somewhat heroic. She looked at Qin Yun's soft armor and asked, how about this set of equipment? It is very dangerous to go out and search for meteor fragments. Because outside, there are many fierce beasts looking for meteor fragments. There are even some star beasts that fall along with the meteor fragments. Qin Yun said with smile, Miss Yu, my equipment was refined in a hurry, so I didn't take external appearance into consideration. But you can rest assured, their defensive power is definitely stronger than your beautiful soft armor. Yu Shutian doesn't believe it, she said with smile. How is that possible? Although the soft armor on my body is not something precious, it is still a low-grade Dao artifact. Is your bee skin clothes really stronger than my soft armor? The bee skin Qin Yun created is the skin of a formidable beast king. Moreover, it has been refined. Moreover, whenever Qin Yun has free time, he carves runes on it. It is not something ordinary low-grade Dao tools can compare with. If you don't believe me, give a try. Qin Yun very proudly said with smile. All right. Yu Shutian took out a small knife. It is very sharp. She grabbed a corner of the bee's skin and vigorously cut it. After testing, Yu Shutian is very amazed. She did not expect that ordinary-looking bee skin clothes to be so durable. Her small knife is a Xian tool. Moreover, it is very sharp, but it is unable to cut through the bee skin. Qin Yun said with smile, Do you believe me now? Yu Shutian nodded and said, Did your master refine it for you? He is a very awesome inscription master. Qin Yun only smiled and did not say a word. Yu Shutian said, When I see my friends, I will tell them that you are my distant relative who introduced you to me to be my bookkeeper. You're also my friend. This way they won't say anything. Oh, that's right. You must not tell them that you have mastered star runes. Even though they are my friends, it is best to keep this matter a secret. You have just roamed Jianghu. You are inexperienced. It is best not to let too many people know that you have star runes. Qin Yun asked, Miss Yu, are your friends unreliable? Yu Shutian used her mental power to control the horses to pull the carriage. She said in low voice, Sometimes, even the closest relatives cannot be trusted, let alone friends. Besides, they all brought their boyfriends here. I can tell what kind of people their boyfriends are at a glance. Qin Yun said with smile, Miss Yu, you look very refined and innocent, but I did not expect you to be so experienced. Yu Shutian lightly sighed and said, Originally, I was very pure and naive, but there is no other way. I have experienced many things and seen many things. To protect myself, I can only be a bit more careful and prudent. But you didn't guard against me. Do I look like a good person? Qin Yun could not help but laugh. Your cultivation is not high. There is nothing to guard against. Yu Shutian said. Qin Yun laughed in his heart. This Yu Shutian is still too young. His weak cultivation is just a disguise. He is also very curious about Yu Shutian's cultivation. It was rare for him to meet someone whose cultivation was so hard to detect. After the carriage left the Fantasy Spirit College, 3 women suddenly arrived. These 3 women are wearing soft armor. Their hair is tied up in ponytail, and they are holding beautiful and gorgeous swords in their hands. They are all very beautiful. One can feel a kind of breathtaking feeling just by looking at them. One of them is a woman with goose egg-shaped face. She has a mature charm. She has a pair of phoenix eyes. She is wearing red clothes. Her expression is somewhat cold. After she got on the carriage and saw Qin Yun, she said with frown, "Xiao Tian, is this your boyfriend?" Qin Yun's face is very good. Only his clothes are a bit lacking. Yu Shutian said, "No, he is someone my relative introduced to me to be my bookkeeper. He knows a bit about inscription. He could be of great help to me." Soon after, Yu Shutian introduced the 3 women to Qin Yun. The mature, charming woman with goose egg-shaped face is called Ling Xinyun. She is from some Ling family. One is called Tong Qin Xin. Her face is small and exquisite. Although she is not ice cold, she is filled with arrogance. Especially when she looked at Qin Yun, her expression is filled with disdain. The last woman to get on the carriage is called Ai Yuan. Her long hair is half covering her jade-like face. She is a kind of gorgeous feeling. When she saw Qin Yun, her beautiful eyes showed a kind of disdain. After all, they are very young and have seen many outstanding men. They naturally don't like this kind of little bookkeeper. In their opinion, people with ability will show off their strength. For example, they're wearing soft armor and holding long swords. They're all very precious things. This is the embodiment of strength. And Qin Yun has no weapon in his hand. He is also wearing very ordinary clothes. He is not even able to enter their eyes. Xiao Tian, why does this guy give off a kind of bad feeling? Tong Qin Xin lightly groaned and lightly glared at Qin Yun because Qin Yun is looking at her. Yu Shutian said with smile, "My bookkeeper is much more reliable than your boyfriend." Ling Xinyun curled her lips and said, "What boyfriend? He is just some big fish that pays for me. Don't even think of touching me. My goal is to become a young martial king who has cultivated a formidable immortal body." Ai Yuan said with light smile, "Immortal disciple martial king is a very scarce resource. Only big sects have them. You're holed up in a damn place like Fantasy Spirit College. You won't be able to meet them." Yu Shutian already drove the carriage towards the city gate. She said, "Your boyfriends. No, I mean, we're your fish. They're outside the city gate. They've been waiting outside for a long time. We will see them when we go out." Ling Xinyun coldly groaned and said, "Those guys are full of evil thoughts towards us." "Oh, that's right, Xiao Tian. Go back and look through your big pile of love letters. See if they wrote to you or not. They were all taken by the auntie at the gate. I don't feel like reading them. I opened a few love letters. They were very disgusting. I don't want to read them anymore." Yu Shutian said with smile, "If you want to read them, go look through them yourselves." Qin Yun is sitting at his seat. His eyes are looking straight at the carriage window. He is not looking at those women. He is also not interrupting. He is just sitting there obediently. Even though those 3 beauties don't trust him, they did not say anything. It is also because he is very dutiful. He is just sitting there like a log. Therefore, those 3 beauties gave him a name, Xiao Mutu. Very soon the carriage arrived at the city gate. Qin Yun followed them down the carriage and saw 3 handsome youths wearing shining armor. They're the big fish the 3 beauties are talking about. While getting off the carriage, Ling Xinyun and the others sternly warned Qin Yun, telling him not to say anything about the big fish. Of course, Qin Yun won't say anything. He doesn't even want to say a single word. After those handsome youths saw Yu Shutian, they very politely greeted her. Then they found out that Qin Yun is Yu Shutian's follower. They only glanced at Qin Yun with disdainful expression and did not say anything. "Let's fly. It will be faster this way," Ling Xinyun said. Soon after, they began flying in the sky. Yu Shutian is worried that Qin Yun won't be able to keep up, so she deliberately slowed down a lot. When they were in the carriage, Qin Yun already knew about the origin of those big fish. They are all famous disciples of 100 Pagoda City's famous sections. Naturally, their cultivation is not very high. They're only peak Xian martial realm martial monarchs. Qin Yun feels that Yu Shutian's cultivation is the highest among them. She might be a martial king. Yu Shutian said, "Not only we're going to that area, there must be other people going there as well." A youth wearing blue armor said, "Then let's fly a bit faster. It doesn't matter if your bookkeeper is a bit slower. Don't let him drag us down." This youth is called Hua Feng. He is from 100 Pagoda City's Hua family. His father is the family head of Hua family. "Xiao Tian, let's fly faster." Tong Qinshin lightly yelled, "Don't care about your bookkeeper." Qin Yun said, "So you are flying so slowly to take care of me?" "My flying speed is not slow. You don't need to take care of me." Yu Shutian said in low voice, "Yun, why didn't you say so earlier? Can you really keep up with our speed?" Qin Yun said with smile, "My other abilities are not strong, but when it comes to escaping, there is no need to talk about my speed." Hua Feng laughed loudly and said, "Truly a coward. You only know how to run." Ai Yuan lightly groaned and said, "Xiao Mutu, you won't be able to find a girlfriend like this. You don't have a girlfriend, right?" Qin Yun said with smile, "I don't have a girlfriend, but I have a wife." Tong Qinshin said with charming smile, "Xiao Mutu, is your girlfriend blind?" Qin Yun said, "She is not. Her eyes are very beautiful." Yu Shutian suddenly increased her speed. Those few couples also chased after her. Naturally, Qin Yun can also keep up. If he flies with his life on the line, even martial emperors would not be able to catch up to him, let alone these youngsters. Yu Shutian is secretly apprehensive seeing that Qin Yun can catch up to them. She suddenly feels that Qin Yun has a bit of strength. Qin Yun is following behind them, maintaining a distance of 1 kilometer. This is also to avoid being scolded by them. 2 hours later, they finally arrived at the area where the meteors fell. This area is full of potholes. There are many big and small meteors falling here. As soon as they arrived, they saw the ground flickering with all kinds of dazzling light rays. Those are the fragments of meteors. They are radiating light rays under the sunlight. Looking from the sky, the flat wasteland ahead looks like a sea of flickering light rays. Finally arrived, I hope I can collect some useful things. Yu Shutian suddenly increased her speed, flew in a short while, and landed on the ground. Those 3 couple speed is a bit slower than Yu Shutian. After they landed on the ground, they began flipping through the meteors to find things that contain energy. Qin Yun is also secretly searching. These meteor fragments are the fragments of a small star that fell down. There's so many meteor fragments in this area. Maybe there are some treasures. Chapter 906. Black Cloud, gang. Not long after they landed, they have been surrounded. Yu Shutian seems to know what is going on. She promptly and politely said, "We are Fantasy Spirit College students. We just landed from the sky. We did not pick up anything here. We didn't know this is your territory. We have offended you. Please forgive us." There are several dozen large men in this group. 5 of them are martial kings. The rest are very strong Xian martial realm martial monarchs. Although they are surrounded, Yu Shutian's group is not afraid at all. Ai Yuan looked at the black armored youth beside her and said in low voice, "Wu Fuge, aren't you the grandson of the richest man in 100 Pagoda City?" Tong Qinshin also looked at her boyfriend and said, "Hua Feng, it is time for you to go up. You only let Xiao Tian, a woman, speak. Don't you think you were a bit vexed?" Ling Xinyan pushed her boyfriend forward and yelled in low voice, "Wei Tianan, isn't your Wei family the #1 family of 100 Pagoda City?" The 3 big fishes were also fearless. Hua Feng said, "I am from Hua family. My father is the family head of Hua family. I ask everyone to give us face and give us this territory." Wei Tianan also yelled, "I am from Wei family. My grandfather is the strongest person in Wei family. He is a peak martial emperor. If you don't want to cause trouble, quickly scram." Wu Fuguwei said with smile, "My grandfather is the wealthiest person in 100 Pagoda City. You should know how serious the consequences of offending influential people are. Originally, we did not want to say anything, but with your attitude, We can only teach you a lesson. A black-clothed middle-aged man said in cold voice. You dare offend the family head behind us? If you're tactful, quickly scram. Wei Tianan shouted in stern voice. Qin Yun is watching from the back. He secretly curled his lips. He thought that these guys have very strong background, but it seems like they're just SOSO. What is there to be afraid of with your small family? If we chop you up here, do you think those old guys in your family will know? Moreover, do you think we don't have some big shot backing us? That black-clothed large man said with sneer. These words caused those few big fish to secretly feel fear. Tong Qin Xin yelled. How powerful can the people behind you be? Who dares to offend these three families? That black-clothed burly man roared. Our boss is called Martial Emperor Black Cloud. We are from Black Cloud Gang. Our Black Cloud Gang has 10 Martial Emperors. You should have heard of us before, right? What bullsh asterisk T richest family? Do you dare to fight us to the death? You are holing up inside Hunter Pagoda City. You don't even dare to come out and fight us head on. Hearing the name Black Cloud Gang, Yu Shutian and the others' expression greatly changed. The Black Cloud Gang seemed to be very famous and very scary. Yu Shutian slightly frowned and said, Fellow heroes, we were wrong. We've really just landed and haven't taken anything inside. Please let us ignorant youngsters go. The black-clothed man said, Just now, those boys and girls are trying to scare us. What do you mean? Yu Shutian looked at them and said in low voice, Quickly apologize to those big brothers. The three couples were afraid of the Black Cloud Gang's infamy, so they could only lower their heads and apologize. That guy, quickly come over and kowtow to those masters and admit your wrongs. Hua Feng shouted at Qin Yun. I did not scare them. Why should I kowtow to them? Qin Yun said. Yu Shutian also said, Hua Feng, Yin did not do anything wrong. He is only my bookkeeper. I can apologize on his behalf. Wu Fugue said in cold voice. No way. We all apologized. Only he did not apologize. Those big brothers will not be happy. Moreover, some of us must kneel to those big brothers. Yu Shutian's face became filled with disgust hearing these words. She looked at Tong Qin Xin and others, hinting them to dissuade those three fish. Wei Tianan also yelled at Qin Yun. Quickly come over and kowtow to those big brothers and apologize. Qin Yun looked at those black-clothed men and asked, Do you think I need to kowtow and apologize to you? The leader of the black-clothed men groaned and said, Of course it is necessary. They all apologized to me. Only you have not. I did not say anything. Qin Yun said again, But you are in my territory. The black-clothed man's expression sank. If you don't kowtow and apologize, don't blame me for being impolite. Since Wei Tianan and the other two have apologized, the black-clothed man doesn't dare to do anything to them. But he wants to regain some face, so he decided to make a servant kneel and apologize to them. Yu Shutian promptly arrived in front of Qin Yun and said, He is only a bookkeeper. He did not say anything just now. He did not offend you at all. If you want to apologize, I can apologize on his behalf. Little girl, if you kneel and apologize to us, you can. The black-clothed man laughed loudly. Yu Shutian clenched her teeth. Because she brought Qin Yun here, she cannot let Qin Yun suffer humiliation, so she can only kneel. Qin Yun saw that she is about to kneel and promptly walked over to support her. He yelled, I did nothing wrong. You don't need to kneel on my behalf. Even if I did make a mistake, I don't need a woman to bear it for me. Hua Feng yelled, You are so unyielding. Quickly kneel. Why are you spouting so much bullshit? Qin Yun coldly looked at the black-clothed man and said, I did nothing wrong, yet you want to force me to kneel. The one who is wrong is you. The one who needs to be punished is you. Yo, even a bookkeeper is so arrogant. The black-clothed man cannot help but laugh. That little girl wants to kneel on your behalf, yet you still want to act like a hero. You are courting death. The one courting death is you. After Qin Yun finished speaking, his figure flickered and suddenly appeared behind the black-clothed man. Qin Yun kicked the black-clothed man's legs in a flash, then released supergravity. Plop! The black-clothed man abruptly knelt on the ground in front of Yushatian. Qin Yun's hand flashed. A short saber appeared in his hand and stabbed the black-clothed man's head. He said in cold voice, "If my saber went down an inch, you would be dead." Everyone became completely silent. Nobody knows how Qin Yun passed through. They also don't know what cultivation Qin Yun has to be able to so easily subdue a mid-stage martial king. Wei Tianan and the others are also extremely shocked by Qin Yun's strength. "Now, do you still want me to kneel?" Qin Yun asked the black-clothed middle-aged man whose body is trembling. You just wait for me. Our martial emperor boss will arrive very soon. At that time, you will all die." The black-clothed middle-aged man shouted. Hua Feng furiously said to Qin Yun, "It is all because of you, bastard. Once their martial emperor arrives, we will all die." Qin Yun said to Yu Shutian, "Miss you. You leave first. Leave this place to me." Yu Shutian promptly said, "I won't leave. I brought you here. I must bring you back. Wait for me at the city gate. I will surely return." Qin Yun's voice is filled with an irresistible majesty. Ling Xinyun said in low voice, "We are leaving." They all walked over and pulled Yu Shutian. Yu Shutian is not leaving. And those three fish have already flown far away. Those black-clothed men don't dare chase because their leader's head is about to explode. "Miss you, I am fine. You go back first. I have some talismans with me. I can protect myself." Qin Yun yelled. "You will only be a burden if you stay here." Yu Shutian gritted her teeth. She can only trust Qin Yun. She knows that Qin Yun has a very awesome master. He might have very awesome talismans. Soon after, Yu Shutian flew away with her few beautiful women. "Brat, you are done for. You could have dragged those few young masters to death with you, but you let them run away." The black-clothed large man said with evil smile, "You are just a hothead. You are standing up for women. If you die, those women will just shed a few tears. They will forget about you very soon. I'm standing up for myself. You are the ones who made me kneel. Of course, I will also teach those three fish a lesson later." Qin Yun laughed. "You are really stupid. Death is at hand, yet you still dare to say these words to me. Ha ha ha. I am not afraid of death. If you have the guts, kill me. You won't be able to run away anyways." The black-clothed large man laughed loudly and said. Suddenly, a very strong martial emperor aura arrived. Clearly, these people sent sound transmission to their black cloud gang's martial emperor. A black shadow floated over from the distance. A round-faced middle-aged man flew down. "Greetings, boss." Those black-clothed men knelt down on one knee and saluted the round-faced middle-aged man. The round-faced middle-aged man saw Qin Yun and yelled in shock, "Big brother, why are you here?" "Lei Xiong, are you the boss of Black Cloud Gang?" Qin Yun said with frown. This round-faced middle-aged man is the martial emperor who Qin Yun stuffed a throwing knife talisman tool into. Then he offended old Fei Tian, a half-immortal. At that time, he was almost finished. Later, Qin Yun saved him in passing. Those black-clothed men are dumbfounded. They really did not expect that their Black Cloud Gang's new boss would actually call this little demon Big Brother. This caused them to find it hard to believe. But when they recalled Qin Yun's power just now, they felt some lingering fear. They suspect that Qin Yun is a martial emperor. If he is so young, it would be very dreadful. It's like this because I came from Qianfeng's sect. Those brothers of Black Cloud Gang gave me face and made me their boss. Lei Xiong said with smile. Qin Yun released the black-clothed middle-aged man. Lei Xiong looked at the black-clothed middle-aged man and asked in stern voice, "What exactly happened?" "He is my big brother. He is also your big brother." "This. Boss, we were in the wrong." That black-clothed middle-aged man said with bitter expression, "Just a misunderstanding." Qin Yun said, "Forget it. Since they are your people, I will let them go. Big Brother is truly broad-minded. I will teach them a lesson." Lei Xiong coldly looked at those black-clothed men and yelled, "You are still not thanking Big Brother Yun for not killing you?" Those black-clothed men promptly knelt down towards Qin Yun, apologized to him, and thanked him at the same time. They were truly scared miserably. Qin Yun took out a sound transmission conch and said, I will call my friend back. She is very interested in the star fragment. He promptly sent a message to Yu Shutian, telling her to come back. Yu Shutian is flying in the sky. She is also together with those 3 fish. After she received Qin Yun's message, she said, A Yun told me to return. He said there is no danger. Miss, you don't believe him. He might have been beaten up and forced by those people to send you a message to lure you back. Hua Feng said, If not for you 3 bastards saying that you should kneel down to Big Brother, things would not have turned out like this. Yu Shutian coldly glared at them and said, Even if I die, I will go back and save him. She turned around and flew back to that place. Chapter 907. Chapter 907. Star Fairy Yu Shutian's heart is very complicated and very worried. She also believes that Qin Yun was forced to send message to her. Even though she is worried that there will be danger, she still went over. Because she can't let go of Qin Yun, she feels very guilty in her heart. Yu Shutian's heart is filled with complicated emotions. She flew over with her fastest speed and very soon arrived at the area filled with star fragments. She saw Qin Yun standing at that place just now. There are a group of Black Cloud Gang people beside Qin Yun. Seeing this scene, Yu Shutian's heart is filled with fear. She is very afraid of falling into the hands of those evil people. Yu Shutian landed on the ground and looked at Qin Yun, whose face is filled with smile. She suddenly feels that it is somewhat strange because Qin Yun does not look like he was forced. I'm fine now, Qin Yun said with smile. He already told Lei Xiong and the others not to talk about his matters. What is going on? Yu Shutian asked in doubt. Lei Xiong said with smile. This is all a misunderstanding. I am the gang leader of Black Cloud Gang. My Black Cloud Gang people offended you just now. Please forgive them. I guarantee that my Black Cloud Gang people will never do this kind of bad thing again. When Yu Shutian was flying over, she imagined many things that could happen, for example, fighting, being captured, mutual destruction, and so on. She already prepared for the worst. But now everything that is happening before her eyes is beyond her imagination. She thought that she and Qin Yun are dead for sure. Who would have thought that Black Cloud Gang's gang leader would be very polite and even apologize to her? This caused Yu Shutian to be dumbfounded for a moment. She is unable to react in time. We want to collect some materials here, Qin Yun said with smile. Friends, you can go do your own things. There are only 2 of you, and this area is so big. It will take you a lot of time to collect materials. We will help you find them. What do you want? Lei Xiong asked with smile. Qin Yun nudged the dazed Yu Shutian and asked, Miss Yu, what kind of materials do you want to collect? Quickly say it. Let them help you find them. Yu Shutian is again startled. These Black Cloud Gang people were acting like fiends just moments ago, shouting to kill them. But not long after, he actually turned into a chivalrous man. Not only was he polite, he even wanted to help. Yu Shutian suspects whether or not Qin Yun used some kind of powerful medicine to make these people's character change. Yun, let's go. Yu Shutian is still very vigilant, as she said in low voice. Don't worry, they won't harm us. Qin Yun said with smile. Really? What's going on? Yu Shutian is still very puzzled. This Black Cloud Gang's gang leader is a good person. I have a good chat with him. Qin Yun said. Lei Xiong said, maybe we scared this girl. Then we'll take our leave first. We'll drink again when we're free. After saying that, the group of Black Cloud Gang members quickly left. Qin Yun said to Yu Shutian with smile, Are you relieved now? Look, they're all gone. Let's start collecting the materials. Yu Shutian let out a long sigh. What the hell happened? I was scared to death before. Qin Yun said with smile, I already said that Black Cloud Gang's gang leader is a reasonable person. I reasoned with him and made him feel that Black Cloud Gang was in the wrong. Then we reconciled. Yu Shutian curled her lips and said, I don't believe that kind of person is reasonable. Some people need to use fists to reason with them. Fists are the hard truth. Qin Yun laughed. It is indeed because he has a certain amount of strength that he can reason with those people. Yu Shutian is finally relieved. She took out a transparent crystal chip and gave it to Qin Yun. She said, put this crystal chip on your eyes, you will be able to see the stones containing star power in the vicinity. These are the materials we want to collect. The crystal was the size of a palm and was very thin. After Qin Yun took the crystal chip, he put on his eyes and looked all around. He saw a stone ahead that is emitting some red mist. After he took the crystal chip, the red mist disappeared. This thing is truly mysterious. It can let me see star power drifting out. Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration and said, "Miss you, where did you get this thing?" Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration. "Miss you, where did you get this thing?" Yu Shetian is somewhat proud of herself, she said with light smile. "I refined it. It is very precious. It took me a whole year to refine one. I only have 2 in my hand." Qin Yun took out a wicker basket and picked up those stones containing star power. There's not much star power inside these stones, but they're very beautiful. Qin Yun doesn't know what use they have. Yu Shetian only said that she wants to collect them to study the structure of the star. "Xiao Yun, I suspect that Yu Shetian is not human," Ling Yuner suddenly said. "Not human? Then what is she?" Qin Yun doubtfully asked. "Could it be that she is like Sister Bing Xing, a star spirit? An existence like Sister Bing Xing?" Ling Yuner said with charming smile. "Your luck is pretty good. You met such a little thing. Then what is she?" Qin Yun promptly looked at Yu Shetian. Through the crystal chip, he can see that Yu Shutian's body is emitting a faint white aura, releasing a very dense and pure star power. "If my guess is not wrong, she should be a star fairy," Ling Yuner said. "Moreover, she is a very special fairy. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to become so big." Qin Yun's 9-son divine soul has a little fairy named Mo. She is indeed very small and very cute. Qin Yun looked at Yu Shetian. He doesn't dare to believe that she is actually a star fairy. This kind of star fairy is usually very small. There must be some reason why she can become so big. I will have to ask her about the specifics. Ling Yuner said. "Wait until I become more familiar with her. I will go ask her again." Qin Yun feels that now is not the right time. Not long after, Qin Yun picked up a large basket of stones. These stones are useless to him. He doesn't want them. Qin Yun looked through the lens and suddenly saw black gas coming out from the ground. He yelled, "Miss you, there's stones with black gas. Do you want them?" "Yes," Yu Shetian shouted from the distance. Qin Yun hastily walked over and dug out a black stone from the ground. It is oval-shaped and as big as a watermelon. Yu Shetian flew over from the distance and said in pleasant surprise, "This is nether star stone. It contains a lot of nether star power." Qin Yun said with frown, "What is its use?" "It can increase mental power. Try and see if you can absorb it or not. If you can, keep it for yourself," Yu Shetian said. Qin Yun closed his eyes and began absorbing the nether star stone's power. Sure enough, he can absorb very rich and peculiar star power. It can increase his mental power. Suddenly, a few people flew over from the distance. They are Ling Xinyun, Ai Yuan, Tong Qinshin, as well as the 3 fish beside them. They were at a very far place just now. They saw that Qin Yun and Yu Shetian are safe and sound. They dare to fly over. They landed and saw that Qin Yun is holding a large black gem in his hand. They realized that it is not an ordinary stone. Ling Xinyun asked in low voice, "Xiao Tian, where are the Black Cloud Gang's people?" Tong Qinshin saw that Yu Shetian is safe and felt a lot relieved. She said, "We were worried to death. Did Black Cloud Gang's people do anything to you?" Ai Yuan vigilantly looked all around and said, "How about we go back? If Black Cloud Gang's people come, it will be very troublesome." Yu Shetian said with smile, "Black Cloud Gang's people are gone. We are fine. Brat, give me the black stone in your hand." Hua Feng saw that Black Cloud Gang's people are not around and shouted at Qin Yun in cold voice. He picked up that stone himself. Why should he give it to you? Yu Shetian immediately became very angry. She arrived in front of Qin Yun and said, "You bully my bookkeeper all day long. You don't even put me in your eyes? If you bully him again, I won't be polite to you." Wu Fuguwei said with sneer, "You picked up 2 baskets of stones. Their value is not small. We came with you to pick up stones. You should give us half of them." Wei Tian'an laughed loudly and said, "You Shutian, you are indeed a martial king. Our strength is below you, but do you dare to attack us? If you injure us, you can forget about entering 100 Pagoda City for the rest of your life. Our families will surely take revenge on you." Hua Feng proudly smiled and said, "Give us half of the stones you picked up." These three fish are very greedy. Moreover, they are very envious of you Shutian for giving him such a good stone. Ling Xinyun said in cold voice, "You three bastards! These stones were picked up by Xiao Tian herself. Every time we came with her to pick up stones, we never took them. Do you want to rob her things?" Tong Qinshin is also very angry as she delicately yelled, "You three idiots, you ran so fast before and refused to come back with Xiao Tian. Now you see that she has so many good stones, and you want to rob her. You stupid women, don't tell me you don't know the value of these stones. These 2 baskets of stones are worth at least 3 million purple crystal coins." Wu Fugue said in cold voice, "Everyone who sees has a share. You want half, otherwise you can do as you see fit." Qin Yin placed the black stone in the basket, then threw the basket in front of Hua Feng's group and said, "All right, I will give you half. This should be fine, right? You three quickly divide them and then return the basket to me." Yu Shutian very angrily looked at those 3 guys. Wu Fugue's group is very happy. They are frantically fighting over the stones inside the basket. At this time, a wave of aura suddenly rushed over from all around. Black Cloud Gang's people have arrived. Lei Xiong has arrived with Black Cloud Gang's people. As soon as they appeared, they surrounded this place. This caused Tong Qinshin's group to be scared. They promptly hid behind Yu Shutian. Hua Feng's group are also scared silly. They are still holding many stones in their hands. "Big brother, why did you come back?" Hua Feng looked at Lei Xiong. His courage is about to break because he knows that this is a formidable martial emperor. Chapter 908. Guyu Lei Xiong and others are indeed hiding nearby. It was Qin Yin who let them come out. After Wu Fugue heard this, he immediately placed the stones into the basket. Hua Feng and Wei Tian'an also followed and took out all the stones and placed them back into the basket. Hua Feng pointed at Qin Yin and Yu Shutian and yelled, "It is them." They picked up the stones. Lei Xiong looked at Qin Yin and Yu Shutian and said, "Why do you have the stones they picked up?" Qin Yin said, "They stole it." Wu Fugue shouted, "That's right, we snatched it, because this is the territory of the Black Cloud Gang. The stones you 2 picked up here belong to the Black Cloud Gang. We are taking back those stones for the Black Cloud Gang." Hua Feng and Wei Tian'an quickly chimed in. Lei Xiong said in stern voice, "Stealing things in my territory, you will be punished." Hua Feng and others are stunned because Lei Xiong is clearly siding with Qin Yin. They also don't know why the Black Cloud Gang's martial emperor sectmaster would help Qin Yin. "The 2 of them gave us a sum of purple crystal coins. We agreed to let them pick up stones in our territory and protect them. We, the Black Cloud Gang, are trustworthy. Now that someone has robbed us of our things, since we have accepted their purple crystal coins, we must take responsibility." Lei Xiong sneered coldly, his eyes filled with ferocity, causing Hua Feng and the other 2 to tremble. "Both of them are my customers. You are snatching my customers in my territory. What do you think I should do?" Lei Xiong coldly said, and then gave the middle-aged men a meaningful glance. The few middle-aged men hastily walked over and kicked Hua Feng, Wei Tian'an, and Wu Fugue's knees, forcing them to kneel down. These 3 people are kneeling towards Qin Yin and Yu Shutian. "Kowtow to them and admit your wrongs. Otherwise I will cut off your heads." Lei Xiong yelled. Wei Tian'an and the other 2 were all extremely afraid of death. Furthermore, before a martial emperor, they were completely terrified. He can only tremble and kowtow towards Qin Yin and Yu Shutian to admit his wrongs. Ling Xinyun and the other 2 women are hiding behind Yu Shutian. They're also looking foolishly. They really did not expect Black Cloud Gang's people to be so friendly. After Hua Feng and the others knelt down, the black-clothed men suddenly attacked. They started beating Hua Feng and the others up. Furthermore, all of their attacks were aimed at their faces. The three fish screamed miserably after being beaten. Their faces have become deformed. When you go back, tell your elders that it was us, the Black Cloud Gang. If they're not satisfied, they can come and find us, the Black Cloud Gang. We'll be there anytime. Remember, you must go back and tell your elders that our Black Cloud Gang is waiting for them. Lei Xiong said in cold voice, then kicked those three young masters 3 times, sending them flying far away. Hua Feng and the other two bitterly hate Qin Yun and Yu Shetian. They promptly soared into the sky and flew towards 100 Pagoda City. You all should also return, Yu Shetian said to Tong Xin and the others in low voice. The 3 of them were also frightened. They nodded and hurriedly flew away. Yin and Tian and Yun Tian Xiong and Yun flew. Tian and Yun Xiao, Xiong and Xiong. Lei Xiong and Long Lei. Yun, Xiong Yun Tian sh, you can't hide it from me. Qin Yun said with smile. That gang leader is my friend. No wonder, Yu Shetian said with gentle smile. Those 3 fish have suffered a lot this time. I am afraid they are waiting for us on the road. If that is the case, I will take action. Qin Yun continued picking up stones and said with smile. Miss you, I am waiting for you to take me to that mysterious danger zone. I know, wait until I have studied that place thoroughly. I will surely take you there. But there is one thing I want to tell you. That place is not only mysterious, it is also very dangerous. If you are alone, it would be best if you don't go there. Yu Shetian said. Ling Xinyun and the other 2 women are flying in the sky and very quickly caught up to Hua Feng's group. They are all injured and cannot fly very fast. You 3 are truly looking for trouble, Tong Xin said with sneer. Shut up, Hua Feng very angrily roared. You 3 stupid women. You often help Yu Shetian pick up stones and let her accumulate a large amount of purple crystal coins. That is why she can bribe those Black Cloud Gang people. Wu Fuguwei said with sneer. And you can't even get a single purple crystal coin. Wei Tian'an said with sneer. It must be that bookkeeper who convinced the gang leader of Black Cloud Gang to let Yu Shetian go back to do business. Perhaps Yu Shetian also didn't want to pay so many purple crystal coins. That bookkeeper is very treacherous. AI Yuan said. You 3 are the idiots. We often see the stones that Xiao Tian collects. She doesn't even sell them. Moreover, don't you know Xiao Tian's identity? It is normal for her to have a lot of purple crystal coins. Let's go. Don't pay attention to them anymore. Ling Xinyun lightly groaned and said. The 3 of them are not injured and their strength is also pretty good. They flew far away in a short while. Hua Feng cursed in low voice. Those 3 sluts. They didn't even let us touch them. Yet they spent so many purple crystal coins on them. Wu Fuguwei loudly cursed. We have suffered great losses, Wei Tian'an said in cold voice. We cannot suffer losses like this. Let's go back and call people. We must get some benefits from that woman, Yu Shetian. If this matter spreads out, we will be ridiculed by others. Qin Yun and Yu Shetian quickly searched the area and picked up all the stones with star power. It is already nighttime now. They're flying back to 100 Pagoda City. Miss you, what can you find out from those stones? Qin Yun asked. You don't know, more and more small stars are falling down these days. I am researching the reason why they are falling down, as well as the situation inside those stars. Yu Shuqian's expression is somewhat grave. According to the ancient texts I have read, the frequent falling of stars is not a good thing. What kind of things do they usually cause? Qin Yun is also somewhat amazed as he asked. This is hard to say. For example, some time ago a large star fell down and brought down a large group of star beasts. Through killing star beasts, one can obtain star nucleus and quickly increase cultivation. Yu Shetian said. This is a good thing, Qin Yun said with smile. Not a good thing. From what I can see, those stars bringing down star beasts are more likely to investigate Spirit Desolate situation. Yu Shetian let out a long sigh. Spirit Desolate has ordinary realm, Xian domain, transcending Xianxi region and the mysterious ancient domain. Nobody knows where ancient domain is. Maybe ancient domain doesn't exist, Qinyan said with smile. Ancient domain doesn't exist, but according to rumor, ancient domain is inside transcending Xianxi region. So I suspect that the mysterious ancient domain is in the starry sky. Yu Shuqian's words truly caused Qinyan to jump in fright. The first time Qinyan heard about ancient domain, he heard it from Wu Mingxiu. Yu Shutian saw that Qinyan is very amazed and said again, Yun, the mysterious danger zone you're talking about is most likely ancient domain. However, it is in a very strange state. It only occasionally appears on the ground. Miss Yu, is this true? Qinyan doesn't dare to believe it. Let's say it like this. I speculate that ancient domain is in the star field in the sky. Ancient domain uses a great number of stars to form a formation to maintain the stability of the star field. However, because of some reason, a great number of star beasts appeared on those stars. After the star beasts consumed the energy of the stars dropped down along with the star beasts. Yu Shutian said. Qinyan deeply inhaled a mouthful of air. If those stars drop down, then ancient domain will also appear in Xian domain. Yu Shutian nodded. I feel that there is a power that is leading all of this. It is to make ancient domain descend. This will bring disaster to spirit desolate. Qinyan doesn't dare to confirm whether this is true or not. If he asks Bing Xing, he might know. Because Bing Xing is fairy star spirit. Maybe she can sense the stars in the sky and understand the situation in this aspect. Yu Shutian and Qinyan are chatting while flying. They are only half an hour away from 100 Pagoda City. Although it is nighttime, there are many stars in the sky. Starlight and moonlight warmly illuminate the ground. There are people ahead, Yu Shutian suddenly shouted. Sure enough, a large group of people suddenly flew up from the ground. A burst of gale blew over. Qinyan and Yu Shutian surrounded around 20 to 30 people. There are a few martial kings among this group of people. There are mid-stage martial kings and late-stage martial kings. All of them are middle-aged. Qinyan and Yu Shutian are very familiar with 3 people among this group of people. They are Wei Tianan, Hua Feng, and Wu Fuguwei. It's you, what do you want? Yu Shuqian's voice is filled with cold intent as she asked. Yu Shutian, you must have picked up many star stones. I heard you have a kind of ability that allows you to see gems containing star power from star fragments. Hand over all the stones you picked up today. Hua Feng proudly said with a smile. They have so many people on their side, and they are very close to 100 Pagoda City. It is impossible for Black Cloud Gang to appear. And Qinyan and Yu Shutian only have 2 people. Yu Shutian said in cold voice. I will never give them to you. Wei Tianan yelled. Quickly capture that brat. Chop him up first. Yu Shutian loudly shouted. You are robbing my things. Are you not afraid that this matter will spread to Fantasy Spirit College? Yu Shutian, even though you are very popular, it does not mean that people in Fantasy Spirit College will stand up for you. Hua Feng said with evil grin. You arrogant woman, today I will let you know that in front of a powerful man, you are just a bitch. Qinyan took out the Lion King cannon and aimed it at a middle-aged martial king. That middle-aged martial king pointed at Qinyan and laughed loudly. Look at that brat. Is he trying to show off his power to us? He is too childish. Wu Fuguwei shouted. Bookkeeper, quickly throw that thing in your hand over to me. It looks like a very good thing. Qinyan poured his Xin Dao power into the Lion King cannon, and after being transformed by the Lion King cannon, it immediately became very berserk. The Lion King cannon slightly trembled. The cannon barrel suddenly flickered with golden light. Roar! A deep and muffled lion roar echoed. The mighty lion head flickered with golden light, and in a flash shot towards that martial king. The energy ball shot by the Lion King cannon landed on that martial king's body and produced a boom sound. That martial king exploded into pieces. Chapter 909. Matchmaking. Yu Shutian, who is standing beside Qinyan, is so scared that her beautiful face turned pale. Those people were also blown away by the aftermath. Wei Tianan and the other two are the most scared. After they reacted, they broke into a run. Qin Yun promptly controlled the Lion King cannon and shot each of them. Because it is a very fast attack, the power released by the Lion King cannon is not very strong. However, it is enough to make Hua Feng and the other two fall to the ground. This bastard! Quickly kill him, otherwise we will all be killed by him. A middle-aged man shouted. Qin Yun did not wait for that man to finish speaking. He shot out a golden light ball with a Lion King cannon. Another furious lion roar resounded. That middle-aged martial king's body dissipated in an instant after being hit. Qin Yun is a late-stage martial king, not to mention the Lion King cannon. Even if he directly attacks, he can easily kill those martial kings. Another martial king has died. The might of the Lion King cannon caused those people's liver and guts to crack, especially those Xian martial realm martial monarchs. Each and every one of them are screaming and running away. Qin Yun used his formidable mental power to control the throwing knives to kill those Xian martial realm martial monarchs. With his current cultivation, controlling the throwing knives to attack martial monarchs is as easy as cutting grass. A large group of martial monarchs have been chopped into 8 pieces by the dozen or so black throwing knives in a very short period of time. The throwing knives flew out very quickly, and when they returned, they also disappeared without a trace. The remaining 3 martial kings are still running away. No matter how fast they are running, they cannot outrun the formidable energy released by the Lion King cannon. Along with 3 lion roars shaking the sky, those 3 martial kings who are running away in the sky have all been disintegrated by the explosion. Yu Shuqian's hair has become somewhat messy because of the airwave. She is just standing there in a daze. Even if her hair is in a mess, she is not trying to tidy it up. She is already shocked by Qin Yun's power. She finally understands why the boss of Black Cloud Gang is so respectful to Qin Yun. Because Qin Yun is very strong. Wei Tianan, Hua Feng, and Wu Fugue are not dead. They have been hit by Qin Yun's Lion King cannon and are seriously injured. They had also seen the process of that group of people being killed, causing them to be terrified to the extreme. Qin Yun walked over with a beaming smile and said, "I could have let the Black Cloud Gang kill you, but I suddenly became benevolent, so I only let them teach you a lesson. At the same time, I am also testing you to see if you will cause trouble for me and miss you in the future. Just as I expected, you sent people to intercept us halfway. You're courting death yourself." Qin Yun took out a flying knife and smiled as he looked at the 3 youths howling on the ground. "Sir, don't kill me. I know I was wrong. I won't do it again. Just tell me how many purple coins you want." Wu Fugue cried and shouted, "I don't lack purple crystal coins." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Then again, if I let you run back to 100 Pagoda City, I will have great trouble." Just as Qin Yun was about to attack, he heard Yu Shutian lightly shout, "A Yun, wait." Yu Shutian flew over. "Little Tian, help us beg for mercy. We are your friends' boyfriends. If you save us, Tong Qin Xin and the others will be very grateful to you. Little Tian, we know we were wrong. Quickly tell them to release us." Qin Yun looked at Yu Shutian and asked, "Miss you, do you want to help them plead for mercy?" Yu Shutian lightly sighed and said, "Of course not. Leave the matter of killing them to me." Qin Yun is somewhat amazed, then said with a smile, "Why? These guys are too hateful. They actually brought people to rob me on the way. I have been suppressing a bellyful of anger. I wanted to teach them a lesson for a long time." Yu Shutian took out a short knife and said in cold voice, "You 3, be good people in your next life." Hearing Yu Shutian's words, Hua Feng and the other 2 became incomparably angry. Just as they wanted to say something, they were killed by Yu Shutian. Seeing how decisive Yu Shutian is, Qin Yun is secretly apprehensive, because this woman is very calm. Yu Shutian very skillfully took out some beast oil and burned the corpses of those 3 people. "Miss you, I really cannot tell," Qin Yun said with a smile. "It's nothing. Didn't you also conceal yourself very well?" Yu Shutian lightly smiled. "Let's go back. It will be as if nothing happened." Yu Shutian brought Qin Yun back to Fantasy Spirit College. It is already late at night. Qin Yun is inside his room, absorbing the energy of the Nether Star Stone and upgrading his mental nether moon. As for Yu Shutian, she is carefully looking at those star fragments inside the room. She is looking for something. Xiao Yun, that star fairy is not simple. She is looking for those star fragments. There must be something very important. Ling Yuner said, I don't know what it is. Even if I asked, she wouldn't say. Maybe she doesn't trust me enough. Qin Yun said with a smile, don't worry about this. She is not a bad person anyways. She should be able to bring me into that mysterious danger zone. Xiao Yun, 100 Pagoda City is very close to 100 Pagoda Sect. Can you contact Hong Mengshu? Ling Yuner said, I won't contact her for now. I still have important things to do here. I want to find the Nether Sun Spirit and then go find her in Xie. Qin Yun said, he is now absorbing the energy of the Nether Star Stone. The sky is gradually brightening. The Nether Star Stone in Qin Yun's hand has become very small. His mental nether moon is absorbing the Nether Star Stone very quickly. It has also improved a bit. It can increase his mental power a bit. Just as Qin Yun is about to leave the room, he heard a voice coming from outside. It is a man's voice. Qin Yun promptly turned transparent, then used mysterious penetration divine ability to pass through the door and arrived at the hall. The man in the hall is a square-faced middle-aged man. He is wearing white robes. It is the uniform of Fantasy Spirit College's teacher. This middle-aged man is a teacher. Yu Shutian is sitting on a chair in the small hall. She is wearing light blue long skirt. Her head is slightly lowered, as if she is thinking about something. Teacher Li, you should go back. I will not agree. Yu Shutian suddenly raised her head and said with light sigh, Xiao Tian, why? Young Master Chu's father is a martial emperor. His grandfather is a half-immortal, and he is also a pagoda master of 100 Pagoda Sect. He is also a chief disciple of Immortal Pagoda. If you agree to be his concubine, you will surely have a meteoric rise. That teacher said. Qin Yun also understands why this teacher is here. He is here to act as a matchmaker. Moreover, he has been here many times already. I can achieve meteoric rise by myself. I don't need to rely on anyone. Teacher Li, please go back. Don't come to me again about this matter. I will not agree. Yu Shutian said, Xiao Tian, don't miss this opportunity. You should know that as long as you agree, you will become a core disciple of 100 Pagoda Sect. You should know that the number of women who want to become young Master Chu's concubine can line up from the end of the street to the end of the street. That teacher Li persuaded. Moreover, he likes you very much. He wants to marry you. I have only met him once, that's all. Yu Shutian lightly groaned and said, Moreover, I don't like his type. You should think about it again. That teacher Li sighed and then sat down. Apparently, he doesn't plan to leave. Qin Yun quietly returned to his room, then withdrew his transparent power and opened the door. He arrived at the living room and saw Yu Shutian. He promptly bowed and said, Good morning, eldest miss. Teacher Li saw a man suddenly appear. Moreover, he is very good-looking and immediately jumped in fright. Because according to his understanding, Yu Shutian very rarely stays with men, let alone having a man stay in her room. Eldest miss, who is this? Qin Yun asked. He is Teacher Li. Yu Shutian doesn't know why Qin Yun is calling her eldest miss, but she did not say anything. She explained to the doubtful Teacher Li. Teacher Li, he is my bookkeeper. Qin Yun said with a smile. Hello, Teacher Li. You can call me Yun. Bookkeeper? Teacher Li is somewhat amazed because he never knew that Yu Shutian had a bookkeeper. Yu Shutian said, A relative arranged for him to help me with some miscellaneous matters. Qin Yun is wearing very ordinary clothes. Although that Teacher Li is somewhat suspicious, he did not continue to ask about this matter. Xiao Tian, young Master Chu is very good, quickly agree. Teacher Li persuaded. Who is young Master Chu? Qin Yun asked. Why are you asking? You're just a bookkeeper, don't speak. Teacher Li sternly shouted at Qin Yun. Yu Shutian said with frown. Teacher Li, he is my bookkeeper. Please respect him a bit. Teacher Li coldly looked at Qin Yun and said, Little bookkeeper, young Master Chu is a dragon among men, a genius rarely seen in 1,000 years. He is a mid-stage martial king at such a young age. His parents are martial emperors, and his grandfather is a pagoda master of 100 Pagoda sect. Although he has many women by his side, if Xiao Tian marries him, she will surely be favored. Qin Yun said, "My father said that our eldest miss is very talented and proficient in star techniques. Our eldest young miss is exceptionally talented and proficient in star techniques. In order to marry her, one must at least be a young and promising martial emperor with a very powerful immortal body. That young Master Chu only has this little bit of qualifications, and he wants to marry eldest miss as his concubine. He is looking down on eldest miss too much." Teacher Li immediately became speechless after hearing Qin Yun's words. "Teacher Li, you don't know. Eldest miss rejected a young martial emperor. That martial emperor is not even 50 years old. Moreover, her parents are half immortals and inscription masters. That young Master Chu is just a martial king. Yet he has the nerve to marry eldest miss?" Qin Yun mocked in cold voice. "Eldest miss comes from a prestigious family in transcending Xianxi region. Why don't you go to transcending Xianxi region to inquire about her origin?" Teacher Li's face immediately turned red. He is speechless. Of course he knows that Yu Shatian is a rarely seen heaven's proud daughter, but he doesn't know about her origin. And Qin Yun's words are very convincing. That Teacher Li is completely convinced. Transcending Xianxi region is much bigger than Xian domain. There are many sects here. Moreover, there are all kinds of hidden, formidable martial Dao aristocratic families. Chapter 9-10. Emperor Melon. After Teacher Li left, Yu Shatian said to Qin Yun with smile, "Yun, many thanks. Miss you have a lot of troubles." Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "Yeah, how annoying. I've stayed in a Phantom College for 2 years, and I've almost flipped through all the ancient books here. It's time to leave." Yu Shatian faintly sighed and said, "If I continue to stay here, all kinds of shameless people will come to propose to me all day long. It is fine if single people come to propose to me, but those people who want to take me as their concubine, it is very infuriating." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Who asked you to be so outstanding and attractive?" Yu Shatian curled her lips and said, "You don't know how disgusting that young Master Chu is. Not only did he want to marry me, he also wanted to marry Ai Yuan, Tong Qinshin, and Ling Xinyun. He even said that he wanted to marry all of us." Qin Yun could not help but laugh. "Don't those little friends of yours always want to marry a martial king? Young Master Chu should be very suitable for them." Yu Shatian glared at Qin Yun. "If they marry young Master Chu, I will immediately break off relations with them. Looks like that young Master Chu is really disgusting." Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "That's right. This guy has a lot of power, but because of him, the number of boys who come to me has gradually decreased because they are afraid of angering that young Master Chu." Yu Shatian said, "That young Master Chu is truly unsatisfied. He is eating from the bowl and looking at the pot. Young Master Chu already has many beauties by his side, yet he is still thinking about me, little Yuan, and the others." The door to the courtyard suddenly opened, and 3 beauties walked in. They were Ling Xinyun, Tong Qinshin, and Ai Yuan. They were all wearing light blue dresses. The style of the dress was different, but the color was the same. It seemed that they had gotten together. "Lil Blockhead, I forgot to ask you yesterday. What's your cultivation? How can you easily control that Black Cloud Gang's martial king?" Tong Qinshin asked when she saw Qin Yun in the hall. "I never said I was weak," Qin Yun said with smile. "After all, I'm a branch family descendant of eldest Mrs. Family. I have a bit of strength, otherwise I would not be able to become her bookkeeper." "Xiao Tian, you are really mysterious. The fellow that your clan sent to be your attendant is quite capable," Ai Yuan said with a smile. "A3, that Teacher Li is here again." Yu Shatian lightly groaned and said, "He is here to help young Master Chu as a matchmaker." Ling Xinyun said coldly, "If he comes again, tell him to scram." Tong Qinshin said, "Young Master Chu is really sick. He didn't send anyone to look for us anymore. Instead, he's harassing you. I want to stay here quietly I want to leave the Fantasy Spirit College. Yu Shutian said, All right, if you want to leave, just let us know. We sisters will miss you, Tong Qinshin said with some reluctance. Qinyan sent them off and closed the door. He very much hopes that Yu Shutian will leave the Fantasy Spirit College. Miss you, let's go. Is there anything you miss about Fantasy Spirit College? Asked Qin Yun with a smile. I'm just used to staying here and don't want to change places. If I leave the Fantasy Spirit College, it won't be easy for me to find a good place to stay. Although there are occasional disturbances in the Phantom Academy, it is very safe. Yu Shutian said. Other places are not only unsafe, they also require a lot of purple crystal coins. Qin Yun said, That is easy. I can help you arrange a safe place. Yu Shutian thought about it and said, Yun, you don't need to help me. I have my own plan. I want to participate in 100 Pagoda Sect's assessment and become a disciple. Isn't that young Master Chu a disciple of 100 Pagoda Sect? Qin Yun said with frown. If you enter 100 Pagoda Sect, he will surely harass you even more. 100 Pagoda Sect has 100 pagodas. His grandfather is in charge of the pagoda. I will join 100 Pagoda Sect. So long as I don't go to his pagoda, it will be fine. Then again, inside 100 Pagoda Sect, all the pagodas are separated by a certain distance. They compete with each other. You won't even dare to come find me. Moreover, I also have a place to stay. Yu Shutian said with smile. When the time comes, I will bring you in. Hong Mengshu also wants to enter 100 Pagoda Sect. She also said that she will bring Qin Yun in. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, if you can fight for a spot, you can give it a try. Yu Shutian took out a golden paper and said with smile, I have already obtained a spot. With my strength, it is not difficult to enter 100 Pagoda Sect. Let's go. We will leave Fantasy Spirit College and go to 100 Pagoda Sect. Originally, Qin Yun did not want to go to 100 Pagoda Sect to look for Hong Mengshu, but now that Yu Shutian wants to go, he can only follow her. Yu Shutian tidied up the things here, then left 100 Pagoda City with Qin Yun towards 100 Pagoda Sect. 100 Pagoda Sect is located inside a large mountain range. After approaching, they can see that there are many huge pagodas inside the mountain range. Some of these huge pagodas are square pagodas, some are round pagodas. They all have different colors. Some look very old, some look very bright and resplendent. The only thing they have in common is that all of them are very tall and very big. Each pagoda is more than 1 kilometer wide and more than 10,000 meters tall. Even though some of these pagodas look very old, they still give people a very stable and grand feeling. Some pagodas are very close to each other. Some are very far away. It is said that each pagoda has at least one half immortal as pagoda master. Some pagodas even have 2 half immortals or even more. This way, there are many small groups inside 100 Pagoda Sect. There are all kinds of internal strife. Only when their interests are being infringed upon, they unite. This is also a good thing. Each pagoda can obtain resources based on their own ability. Each pagoda can develop more evenly. If they're bullied by other sects, 100 Pagoda Sect can unite and fight back, forming a very strong power. 100 Pagoda City is built by 100 Pagoda Sect. But outside the large mountain range where 100 Pagoda Sect is located, there's a very small city called Heaven's Pride City. But to enter that city, one needs invitation card. Invitation card is the one in Yu Shutian's hand. Invitation card means that one has obtained the qualification to take the test. Invitation card means that one can bring in one person. This Heaven's Pride City is specially prepared for geniuses to take the test. Those who can obtain the test card are either very talented or have strong background. Most of them are very rich. Qin Yun followed Yu Shutian into Heaven's Pride City. Martial kings and martial emperors are everywhere. Half immortals are very few, but they can still be seen. Xin Domain is divided into 9 regions. Each region has a lot of people. 100 Pagoda City is in charge of this region. The people gathered here are all outstanding people of 100 Pagoda City. Qin Yun took out a sound transmission conch and sent sound transmission to Hong Mengshu. Mengshu, where are you? I have arrived at Heaven's Pride City. Hong Mengshu very quickly replied, Brother Yun, Are you outside the city? I will immediately go out and bring you in. No, I am inside the city. Qin Yun said, Where are you inside the city? Ah, how did you come in? Hong Mengshu is somewhat amazed. I came in with a friend. She is also preparing to take the test. I will bring her to find you. Qin Yun said, All right, I am at a mortal transforming house. I will wait for you at the entrance. Hong Mengshu replied. Yu Shetian brought Qin Yun to walk on the street. She asked about the cost of staying at the inn. It is very expensive. One room costs more than 10,000 purple crystal coins per day. Yu Shetian is not as rich as the rumors say, so she is very frugal. Eldest miss, I will bring you to my friend's place. Qin Yun suddenly yelled. She is waiting for us at a mortal transforming house. Immortal transforming house. That is very expensive. 10,000 purple crystal coins per day. Yu Shetian yelled in low voice after hearing this. Let's not go. I don't have enough purple crystal coins. I can't afford it. I will surely find a cheaper room. There is no need for purple crystal coins. We will just go there. Qin Yun said with smile. Even if they use purple crystal coins, Qin Yun will pay for it. He still has 10 to 20 billion. Really? Yu Shetian did not believe it first, but then she thought about how Qin Yun has a friend like Lei Xiong. She believed it. After the two of them inquired about the location of a mortal transforming house, they promptly rushed over. Immortal transforming house is very tall. Moreover, it is completely white, as if it is made of white crystal. It is releasing a burst of faint white aura. It is as if immortal energy is lingering around. It is very beautiful. No wonder it is so expensive. Hong Mengshu is wearing red clothes. Her hair is tied up in two ponytails. After seeing Qin Yun and Yu Shetian, she ran over. Brother Yun, Hong Mengshu yelled with charming smile. Then she looked at Yu Shetian and said with smile, Is this your friend? And miss you. She's my friend, Hong Mengshu, a very naughty girl. Qin Yun pinched Hong Mengshu's face and said with smile, I am Yu Shetian, hello. Yu Shetian also smiled sweetly and politely greeted. Hong Mengshu giggled and said, Miss you, let's go inside and talk. There are too many people here. Qin Yun and Yu Shetian followed behind Hong Mengshu and entered a mortal transforming house. They arrived at a very high floor, an inner suite. Hong Mengshu's master Granny Wang knows people inside 100 Pagoda sect, so she managed to get a very luxurious suite. Mengshu, Miss Yu will also take the assessment. You should exchange experience with her. Qin Yun said. 100 Pagoda sect will recruit 200 disciples this time. Each pagoda will accept 2 disciples. Altogether, there will be 20,000 people taking the assessment. Hong Mengshu promptly informed Qin Yun of the situation. Miss Yu, how about we enter the same pagoda together? You are Brother Yun's friend. You can also bring Brother Yun in when the time comes. We can take care of each other. Yu Shetian also has the same idea, she said with smile. All right, I also have the same idea. You two stay here and properly chat. I will go buy some things. I will be back very soon, Qin Yun said. Qin Yun left Immortal Transforming House by himself and left for Divine Inscription Palace. He wants to buy some finished Dao tool materials. It is not that he doesn't want to refine materials himself. Rather, he wants to buy finished Dao tool materials and then refine and improve them himself. This way he can save a lot of time. Divine Inscription Palace's lobby is very lively. As soon as Qin Yun arrived, he saw many withered yellow fruits on the counter in the lobby. They look like big yellow pumpkins. They require 2 hands to hold them up. Many people are surrounding those pumpkin-like fruits. Chapter 9:11. King Grade Regent Qin Yun felt that there is something fishy about these Regent melons, because Regent origin stones usually grow from Regent stone mothers. He himself has many Regent stone mothers, so he is very clear about the process of Regent origin stones' birth. He has never heard of Regent origin stones growing from Regent melons. However, many people don't know about Regent origin stones. Divine Inscription Palace took out several dozen Regent melons. A short and fat old man yelled, There are 40 Regent melons here. They are all picked from a single vine. There are 40 melons on a vine, but only one melon has regent origin stone inside. Old fatty, 40 melons on a vine, but only one melon has regent origin stone. This is useless. An old man asked. This old man is a martial emperor. He also needs regent origin stones very much. The short and stout old man said with smile, You don't know. If a vine grows a regent melon for more than 20 years, the melon will contain at least 2 regent origin stones. Moreover, the quality will be at least high quality, even best quality. In 40 melons on a vine, the regent origin stones inside those melons must be king grade. Qin Yun secretly frowned hearing this, because the short and fat old man's words are as if they are true. Could it be that these regent melons truly exist? Qin Yun promptly asked Yao Fong. Yao Fong expressed that she has never heard of them. Ling Yuner also doesn't know. Qin Yun carefully looked at the regent melons. He even used extinction spirit eye, but he is unable to see through them. From his observation, the regent melons placed in the middle of divine inscription palaces hull seem to be formed naturally. They have very hard outer shell. Mental power is unable to penetrate inside, causing Qin Yun to use extinction spirit eye to be unable to see inside. Could it be that these regent melons can truly produce regent origin stones? After Qin Yun carefully observed, he suddenly felt that he made a conclusion too early. These regent melons are not some kind of deceitful thing. They are most likely real. We also don't know which regent origin stones are inside. If you feel that your luck is good, you can come in and choose. Maybe among these 40 melons, there will be quite a few with regent origin stones. The short and fat old man said with smile. Low-quality regent origin stone is worth 1 billion, mid-quality 1.5 billion, high-quality 2 billion, top quality 3 billion, and king quality 4 billion. The majority of Qin Yun's regent origin stones are low quality. High quality regent origin stones are equivalent to several low quality regent origin stones. Moreover, their energy extraction speed is a lot faster than low quality regent origin stones. Now, as long as they paid 200 million purple crystal coins, they would be able to obtain a king-grade regent origin stone worth several billion purple crystal coins. Each person is limited to 2. The short and stout old man laughed and said, Is there anyone who wants to buy it? Well, that's right, I can't guarantee that there are regent origin stones inside. Therefore, don't blame us if you can't find any regent origin stones inside. Martial kings and martial emperors have the greatest demand for regent origin stones. Furthermore, martial emperors usually had a lot of purple crystal coins on hand. They could easily afford 1 billion or 800 million. Finally, a martial emperor paid 400 million purple crystal coins and went in to pick 2 regent melons. After the selection, he handed it over to the short and fat old man. The short and stout old man took out a short king tier knife and cut open the regal melon's shell. When it was cut open, Qin Yun and many others watched with widened eyes. Finally, the shell was cut open. It was empty inside. There was nothing. Everyone burst into laughter because that martial emperor suffered a great loss. He lost 400 million purple crystal coins in vain. Qin Yun squeezed through the crowd and arrived beside the short and stout old man. He observed the melon shell from close distance. Qin Yun tested and found that he can use mysterious penetration, divine ability, and mental power to penetrate the melon shell. He is secretly happy in his heart. Natural material? My mysterious penetration divine ability can penetrate it. Because a martial emperor lost several 100 million purple crystal coins, it caused many martial emperors and martial kings to shrink back. Qin Yun is wearing a hat. His face is covered with a big beard. He looks like a middle-aged man. He thought about it and decided to give it a try. I want to buy a regent melon. Qin Yun took out his purple crystal card and yelled at the short and stout old man. The short and stout old man said with smile, This bearded brother, you will surely have good luck. I hope you will find a regent melon with regent origin stones. Qin Yun handed over 200 million purple crystal coins to the short and stout old man, and then entered the middle area where the regent melons are being displayed. 200 million purple crystal coins is nothing to him. He only came here out of curiosity to study the regent melons. He walked over and began patting the melons. He patted with muffled sound of pung pung pung. He has a very serious expression as he began picking regent melons. "Brother, are you buying watermelons? Keep patting. Don't let the regent melons break." A middle-aged man said with smile. Everyone burst into laughter. If you could casually pat a few times and tell whether or not there are regent origin stones inside, then Divine Inscription Palace would not put them out to swindle people. Indeed, even those guys from Divine Inscription Palace are not sure whether or not there are regent origin stones inside. That's why they put them out to swindle people. "Brother, casually pick one. If we are swindled, then we are swindled. It is fine as long as we are happy," the short and stout old man said with smile. "Everyone, the outer shell of the regent melons is very hard. Even Dao tools cannot easily damage it. If you don't use a lot of strength, it will be very difficult to smash it. Even if a martial king's hand becomes swollen, the regent melons will not be smashed. Even if we shake the regent melons, we won't know whether or not there are regent origin stones inside. It will be very difficult to tell." Many people here know that these regent melons are used to swindle people who want good luck. While patting the regent melons, Qin Yun unleashed mysterious penetration divine ability and sent his mental power inside. He discovered one thing. When touching these regent melons, they are somewhat similar to regent stone mothers. Back then, he used mysterious penetration divine ability to take out regent origin stones from regent stone mothers. Otherwise, even half immortals would find it difficult to take them out. And the outer shell of these regent melons is much weaker than regent stone mothers. Even king tools can break it. Qin Yun patted each and every regent melon and finally found out that there is something inside one of them. This is it. Qin Yun picked up a half-meter wide regent melon and walked towards the short and stout old man with a smile on his face. He asked, "Old fatty, can I take the melon shell?" "Of course you can. You bought the entire regent melon. Everything is yours," Old Fatty said with a smile. Although Qin Yun has been choosing for a long time, everyone feels that he will be swindled. The short and stout old man slowly cut open the regent melon with a king-quality short knife. Although everyone feels that there is nothing inside the regent melon, they can't help but earnestly look at it, causing the entire hall to become very quiet. After the regent melon was cut open, 2 golden and dazzling pearls appeared inside. They are as big as watermelons. Everyone burst in a cry of alarm. Because from the intensity of the light they are emitting, it is clear that they are king-quality regent origin stones. Qin Yun is also amazed. He did not expect that there would be such a thing as regent melons. He thought that Divine Inscription Palace made them to swindle people. "Ha! I made a profit," Qin Yun said with a laugh, and quickly stored away the 2 regent origin stones. These 2 king-quality regent origin stones are very heavy. Their quality is also very high. The short and stout old man is also very amazed. Moreover, his expression is that of someone who suffered a great loss. Although a king-quality regent origin stone is worth 4 billion, because king-quality regent origin stone can absorb energy very quickly, its value is far more than 4 billion. There are some god-tier tycoons who would even spend 5 billion to buy it. Qin Yun said with a smile, "Do you still have regent melons for sale? I want to play one more time." Everyone is looking at Qin Yun as if they are looking at a great god. Earlier, they felt that Qin Yun knocking the melons is very comical, but now it seems like he is a knowledgeable person. He must have grasped some kind of technique. In other words, the rest of the regent melons in the hall are all empty. Divine Inscription Palace suffered a great loss. In this batch of regal melons, they had only sold 3 of them and earned 600 million. And one of the regent melons has 2 king-quality regent origin stones inside. The short and stout old man's expression is very unsightly. It is as yellow as a regent melon. Divine Inscription Palace's people think that even if they cut open all 40 regent melons, there might not be any regent origin stones inside. At that time, the regent melons that have been cut open will not have any value. Therefore, they put them out to let people gamble. This way, their Divine Inscription Palace will also earn some purple crystal coins. They also made a lot of profit before. It is just that this time they suffered a great loss. The Divine Inscription Palace often created gambling games for people. This was also a tradition of the Divine Inscription Palace. Old fatty, do you still want these regent melons? Chinyan asked. This. You want to buy them? The short and stout old man suddenly became very vigilant and said, "And 500 million purple crystal coins. I want all of them. How about it?" Chinyan asked. Too little, 2 billion, the short and stout old man said. 600 million. Chinyan curled his lips and said, "These regent melons have nothing inside. If you don't believe me, open them and take a look." Chinyan's words made it even more impossible for these regent melons to be sold. Without regent origin stones, these regent melons are basically worthless. Then why are you buying them? The short and stout old man very suspiciously asked. I'm buying them to research. I want to see what is so special about these regent melons. Chinyan said with a smile, if you don't want to sell, then forget it. Xian Domain has regent melons for sale. Don't go. 600 million it is. The short and stout old man clenched his teeth and agreed. Chinyan paid 600 million purple crystal coins and then took away all the regent melons. He placed the regent melons next to the regent stone mother inside the 9-sun divine soul. He wants to see whether or not these two will have any reaction. Chinyan also recalled that he came to Divine Inscription Palace to buy Dao tool materials. He bought many materials worth more than 1 billion purple crystal coins. If this was an ordinary realm, it would cause no small commotion. But in Xian Domain, 1 billion purple crystal coins is nothing. Small and medium-sized clans or sects often purchase this amount of materials. After Chinyan finished buying materials, he came out of Divine Inscription Palace and saw a very familiar-looking person. This person is a middle-aged man with ordinary appearance. He has a big bald head. He is precisely Blue Spirit Star Palace's Palace Master Lanshan. Back then, Lanshan's cultivation was something Chinyan yearned for very much. But now Lanshan is mid-stage Martial King and Chinyan is late-stage Martial King, higher than him by a lot. I remember this baldy had a star totem on his head. Where did it go? Chinyan said in his heart. Just as Lanshan was about to enter Divine Inscription Palace, Chinyan quickly walked over and patted Lanshan's big bald head. Chapter 9:12. Totem, an ancient domain. Lanshan was very polite. If someone with a bad temper was slapped on the head in public, they would definitely retaliate without saying a word. Chinyan laughed, then extended his palm with lightning speed and patted Lanshan's bald head again. He said with a smile, Palace Master, long time no see. I didn't expect to meet you here. Lanshan was about to flip out, but after hearing Chinyan's words, he became stunned. This was because there weren't many people who knew that he was the Palace Master of Blue Spirit Star Palace, and there were even fewer people in the Xian region. You are Murong Shaoran or Huizhong? Lanshan frowned and asked. Back then, Murong Darren and Huizhong had also stayed in Blue Spirit Star Palace. No. Chinyan shook his head and said with a smile. He never expected that Lanshan would actually be in the Xian domain. Then who are you? Stop fooling around. You must be Murong Wretch. Lanshan said with a smile. I saw you once before. I also know that you are a follower of Xia Wufeng in 100 Pagoda sect. Big Baldy, don't you recognize me? I am surnamed Qin. Chinyan said with a smile. Qin. Lanshan naturally remembers Chinyan. Chinyan's name was filled with shock in his memory. It was difficult to erase it. Why are you going to the Divine Inscription Palace? Chinyan asked. It's not too important. Come, let's talk somewhere else. Lanshan is also very happy to meet Chinyan here, because Chinyan is the sect master of the Inscription Gate. He has mastered the star and moon runes of the inscription gate that are not passed down to outsiders. Lan Shun and Qin Yun left the divine inscription palace. Qin Yun is sitting in Lan Chen's carriage. Looking at Lan Chen's big bald head, he said with smile, "Old Lan, where's the star totem on your bald head? Where did it go?" Lan Shun felt goosebumps in his heart because of Qin Yun's gaze. He said, "I hid it. My star totem was passed down from my ancestors. I was born with it. Don't you dare have any bad ideas about my star totem." "Old Lan, why are you here?" Qin Yun curiously asked. "I want to participate in the assessment and enter Hunter Pagoda sect." Lan Huayu is also here. He is in the Divine Inscription Palace as a Xin Inscription Master. Lan Chen said, "You're only mid-stage Martial King." Qin Yun said with smile, "What middle Martial King realm? I broke through very quickly, and Lan Huayu is only an early-stage Martial King." "All right, where did you take that girl, Lan Fengjin?" Lan Chen asked. Lan Huayu is very worried. She is still in the ordinary realm. She is fine. She is safe. Moreover, she is also a member of my inscription gate. Qin Yun said with smile, "How is your inscription gate doing? How many disciples are there now?" Lan Chen asked curiously. "Less than 5. Qin Yun smiled. Lan Chen curled his lips and said, "It's nothing much." Qin Yun proudly smiled and said, "My inscription gate has a martial emperor level Dao inscription master. Moreover, she is a woman and has mastered inscription spirit." When Lan Chen heard this, he immediately said in amazement, "That's not bad. A martial emperor." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "Old Lan, your cultivation used to be higher than mine, but now you are not as strong as me." Lan Chan said with smile, "Little guy, don't brag in front of me. No matter how fast you are, can you be faster than me? I use my ancestors' star totem to advance by leaps and bounds. If you pay attention to big matters, you should know that many stars fell from the sky a while ago, right? Moreover, a large group of star beasts appeared. It was at that time that I obtained a large number of star nucleus and quickly became a martial king through my star totem." Lan Shun very proudly spoke about this matter. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, "I am late-stage martial king now." Lan Shun was originally very proud of himself, but now he can no longer smile. "Really? You're not bragging, right?" Lan Shun said in alarm. Qin Yun released a bit of king energy. Lan Shun sensed the intensity of the king energy and realized that Qin Yun's Dao core has reached 3 transformation, late-stage martial king. "You wretched little demon. How can you break through so fast?" Lan Shun is very puzzled because he knows that Qin Yun has 2 Dao cores. No matter how fast his cultivation is, it should not be this fast. Qin Yun let Lan Shun control the carriage to head towards Immortal Transforming Pavilion. On the road, Lan Shun talked to Qin Yun about many things. Qin Yun is very interested in the matter of the star totem. He also inquired many things regarding this aspect. He found out that the star totem is inside Lan Chen's bloodline, and Lan Shun is Martial King Lan Zhao's descendant. Old ancestor Lan Zhao might be in Xin domain, or maybe he is in ancient domain. In short, I have been looking for him. Lan Chen sighed and said, "Maybe he is already dead. Only by finding him can we know the secret of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Qin Yun's father is still in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Back then, Qin Long said that he would carefully explore the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. "Our cultivation is very high now. It will be very difficult to return to the Spirit Desolate's Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Qin Yun said with sigh, "Not necessarily. I heard that there is a passage in Immortal Desolate that connects to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. That passage has already been blocked. Moreover, there is a special barrier around the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range that allows immortals to travel freely in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Although this is only a legend, I feel that it is very likely to be true." Lan Chen said, "I don't know when I will be able to go to Immortal Desolate. I will need to cross 6 half Immortal Tribulation." Qin Yun said with bitter smile, "Indeed. Maybe when we cross Tribulation, we will be turned to ashes in a puff of smoke." Lan Chen thought about this matter and felt some fear. After arriving at a mortal transforming pavilion, Qin Yun brought Lan Chen inside and arrived at the suite. Lan Chen saw that there are two beautiful women in the living room of the suite and secretly despised Qin Yun in his heart. Because Qin Yun is always together with all kinds of beautiful women, but his cultivation is still very high. From Lan Chen's point of view, Tao cultivators should have a pure heart and few desires, indifferent to fame and fortune. Only then they can advance by leaps and bounds. But Qin Yun's existence has toppled all these things. Qin Yun introduced Lan Chen to Hong Mengshu and Yu Shetian. Hong Mengshu and Yu Shetian are also very polite. They know that Qin Yun brought his friend here. He must be very trustworthy. Old Lan will also participate in the assessment. If he doesn't pass and you pass, you can bring him along, Qin Yun said with smile. So long as they pass the assessment, they can bring a follower to join 100 Pagoda sect. But they won't be able to enjoy some of the benefits of 100 Pagoda sect. Little demon, you look down on me too much. Lan Chen is very unconvinced as he said. During the assessment, I could release 3 dragon power. Just based on this, I can pass the assessment. Big brother Lan, after we enter 100 Pagoda sect, please take good care of us, Yu Shetian said with smile. Rest assured, you are this little demon's friends. If I can help you, I will surely help you. After Lan Chen sat down, Hong Mengshu poured tea for him. Qin Yun patted Lan Chen's bald head. Lan Chen said with unhappy expression, Little demon, don't get touchy. Believe it or not, I will press you to the ground and shave your head. Hong Mengshu and Yu Shetian cannot help but laugh. They even instigated Lan Chen to shave Qin Yun's head. Old Lan, take out your star totem. There is an astrology master here. She is very knowledgeable in this aspect. Moreover, she is very trustworthy. Qin Yun looked at Yu Shetian with smile. Yu Shetian looked at Lan Chen and is slightly startled. Big brother Lan, you have star totem? Lan Chen said, Miss you, are you that astrology master? Yu Shetian promptly nodded. Lan Chen thought for a bit, then closed his eyes. His bald head suddenly overflowed with white light. Then black totem runes appeared on his head. After Qin Yun saw this, he said in amazement, It has evolved into a Tao totem. Yu Shetian is also very excited. She promptly went over to look at the star totem. Miss you, how does this star totem help you in studying stars? Qin Yun asked. It is very helpful. Maybe it can help me find a path to ancient domain. Yu Shetian said. Miss you, is what you said true? What does ancient domain have to do with my star totem? Lan Chen is greatly alarmed. His star totem is passed down from his ancestors. He suspects that Lan Shao is an ancient domain, but he doesn't know how to get there. I suspect that ancient domain is hidden in the star field, but now it is in danger. Yu Shetian said. Some ancient records say that the star totem is a map that leads to the holy land of the star field. It is the ancient domain. And that holy land of the star field is also filled with all kinds of dangers. Soon after, Yu Shetian told Lan Chen about the recent starfall, as well as her speculations. Lan Chen is very shocked after hearing this. Qin Yun promptly released little fairy Mo and let her record the star totem on Lan Chen's head. Yu Shetian looked at Mo and became stunned in shock. She did not expect Qin Yun to have a magical fairy. Moreover, it is a high priest. Mo flapped her little wings and curiously looked at Yu Shetian. She can sense that Yu Shetian is her kind. They are both fairies. Lan Chen is sitting there. His head is being stared at and studied by others. He has an indescribable, hilarious feeling. Mo very quickly finished recording the star totem. On her way back, she greeted Yu Shetian. Qin Yun feels that he will be able to master the star totem very soon. He has totem inscription spirit and star lord inscription spirit. Drawing star totem is a very easy matter. What caused Qin Yun to be amazed is that Yu Shetian can very quickly record the star totem. Big brother Lan, rest assured, I will not tell anyone about the star totem. Yu Shetian very happily said, Thank you. I will surely use the star totem to find the path to ancient domain. Let me know when the time comes. I want to go to ancient domain to find my old ancestor. Lan Chen said. His bald head flickered with white light and the star totem disappeared. Of course. Let's enter Hundred Pagoda Sect first. Inside Hundred Pagoda Sect, there are many ancient texts that we can read. Yu Shutian said, Hundred Pagoda Sect has an ancient star pagoda. I want to enter this pagoda. Hong Mingshu nodded and said, Xiao Tian, I will go with you. Lan Chen said, I still don't know which pagoda to enter. Yu Shutian thought for a bit and said, There's a pagoda called Star Traveling Pagoda. This pagoda mainly imparts knowledge about starry sky. It should be very helpful to Big Brother Lan. All right, I will go to Star Traveling Pagoda. I will surely enter. Lan Chen said with smile. Old Lan, in order to be safe, I will carve Star Totem into your martial spirit. It will make you even stronger. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. When the time comes, will you also be able to pass the assessment? Chapter 9:13. Trade Meeting. Chapter 9:13. Trade Meeting. Lan Chun somewhat anxiously yelled, Little demon, don't mess around with my body, I will die. Yu Shutian's eyes flashed with shock because Qin Yun knows how to carve totem runes. This is something only very high-level inscription masters can do. From this, she can see that Qin Yun's inscription level is very high, especially since he can carve inscription spirit inside a martial spirit. This is something only soul-refining masters can do. Old Lan, if I carve inscription spirit on you, it will increase your power by at least one dragon. Quickly come and give it a try. Qin Yun grabbed Lan Chen's arm and dragged him into a secret room. Lan Chen is very scared. He loudly shouted, Two young ladies, quickly come and save me. Don't let him mess around. I will be killed. Hong Mingshu and Yu Shutian looked at each other and smiled. They did not stop Qin Yun. Especially Hong Mingshu. She very much believes in Qin Yun's skill. You bastard, carving Star Totem for no reason at all. How can there be such a good thing? You must be treating me as a test subject. Lan Chen cursed in low voice after being dragged into a secret room by Qin Yun. Lan Chen also realized that his strength is far below Qin Yun's, and he feels very sad in his heart. Thinking back to the past, Qin Yun was very weak in front of him. He was not his match at all. And now Qin Yun's strength is far above his. Qin Yun let Zi Qingsheng come out of the Nine Sun Divine Soul. Lan Chen, who was sitting on the ground, jumped up in fright when he saw the purple-clothed Zi Qingsheng suddenly appear. He shouted, Palace Master Violet Spirit, why are you here? Qin Yun pinched Zi Qingsheng's beautiful face and said with smile, She is my woman. Back then, Lan Shun and Zi Qingsheng fought, and because he lost Blue Spirit Star Palace to Zi Qingsheng. To Lan Shun, this matter was the greatest humiliation of his life. And Zi Qingsheng also became Lan Chen's shadow. While Lan Shun is vexed, Zi Qingsheng is now Qin Yun's woman. Sec Master Lan, long time no see. You're also mid-stage Martial King. How about we fight again? Zi Qingsheng said with smile. No need. Lan Shan felt like he had seen a ghost. He had originally thought that his cultivation speed would be much faster than that of his peers through his star totem. However, he did not expect that Zi Qingsheng was also a middle Martial King realm cultivator. Lan Shan didn't have any confidence against Zi Qingsheng. Qin Yun said with smile, Old Lan, you can't beat her. I have carved the totem carvings on her body. Her prowess is far above yours. Lan Chen was shocked. Is this true? Of course it's true. Zi Qingsheng laughed. Sect Leader Lan, why don't we exchange a few moves? Zi Qingsheng has stepped into the middle stage Martial King realm. She has also improved very quickly. She also wants to test her strength. No need. Lan Chen promptly shook his head. Qin Yun let Zi Qingsheng return to the Nine Sun Divine Soul and continue learning from Yao Fong. Lan Chen is not that afraid now. He said, Brat, it seems like your soul refining technique is quite good. Then come. If you die, then die. For the sake of becoming stronger. Qin Yun said with smile, Look at how serious you are. I have never failed to carve runes or totem runes on other people's martial kings. Unless you are very unlucky, there won't be any problem. What if I am unlucky? Lan Shan curled his lips and said, I am now standing at the peak of my life. I don't want my wonderful life to be ruined by you. There is no what if. Qin Yun said, what is your martial spirit? Are you going to let me carve it, or should I cut my belly and carve it? Lan Shan released his martial spirit. It is a blue-colored star martial spirit. Blue-colored martial spirit. It is a divine ability, martial spirit. Is this also passed down from generation to generation? Qin Yun said with smile. Of course, we have been born with blue star martial spirit and star totem for many generations. Lan Qin said, my luck was bad. Totem runes grew on my head. Qin Yun asked, Old Lan, what kind of divine ability did you master? Lan Qin said, star summoning divine ability. It can summon many stars to fall down. Later, when you want to pick up girls and bring them to see meteor shower, come find me. I will help you summon meteor shower and create a romantic scene. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, Old Lan, many thanks. But I don't need to use this ability. I have mastered star runes that can also summon meteors. Not to mention meteors. Even if it is a very big star, I can also summon it. Little demon, don't talk. Seriously carve star totem. Don't make a mistake. I heard that when carving a totem on a martial spirit, if a mistake occurs, the consequences will be very serious. Lan Qin warned in grave tone. Is that so? I have never seen a mistake. I really want to see it. Qin Yun finished speaking and began carving star totem. This caused Lan Qin's expression to abruptly change in fright. Mo just collected it and immediately passed it on to Qin Yun. That is why Qin Yun can quickly master it. This is also something that Lan Qin is very worried about, because Qin Yun has just obtained Star Totem. Lan Qin's martial spirit is flickering with blue light. It looks like a blue fireball. It is a blue-colored star martial spirit. After this martial spirit was released, its size is also very big. Qin Yun's carving also became a lot easier. And Lan Qin's entire body is very tense. His forehead is filled with sweat as he looked at Qin Yun's mental resonance Xianpen. He is very worried that his martial spirit will suddenly make a mistake and scatter. The process is proceeding very smoothly. Qin Yun has also become very proficient in carving Star Totem. After a successful experience, there was basically no chance of failure. Lan Qin is very excited after seeing Qin Yun's success. His face is filled with smile. He can feel that after carving Star Totem on his martial spirit, its power has increased by a lot. You were scared to death just now. Now look how happy you are. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, if it were other people, even if they gave me 1 billion or 800 million, I would not even bother to carve totem for them. It would be very strenuous. You are my friend. I am carving for you for free. You have profited greatly. Do you understand? Stinky brat, do you think I don't know that you are using me to practice? Then again, if not for me, would you have obtained the star totem? We are even now, Lan Qin said with mischievous smile. Oh, that's right. Have you seen Boss Xie and others? Qin Yun asked. I have. Xie Wufeng is very awesome. I think he is mid-stage martial king. Now he should be late stage. I don't know what is going on with this guy. His cultivation is increasing very quickly. Lan Qin repeatedly exclaimed in admiration while talking about Xie Wufeng. Qin Yun knows that Xie Wufeng had a fortuitous encounter before. Plus, he is very hardworking. He can advance by leaps and bounds. As for what kind of fortuitous encounter, that is Xie Wufeng's secret. Where is Morong Duck? Qin Yun asked. Morong Shaoran? This trash is only a peak stage martial monarch, but it can be considered very fast. After all, this trash is usually fooling around everywhere. Lan Qin said, all right, I am going to Divine Inscription Palace to find Lan Huayu. Do you want to go see him? I won't go for now, so that he won't ask me about Sister Lan. You also don't talk to him about me for now, Qin Yun said with smile. All right. Lan Qin walked out of the secret room, bid farewell to Hong Mangshu and Yu Shutian, and left in a hurry. Qin Yun came out of the secret room, took out 2 king-quality Regent Origin Stones, and said with smile, I went out for a while just now and obtained these 2 things. King-quality Regent Origin Stones. Brother Yun, where did you get them? I did not expect your skill to be so good with 3 hands. Hong Mengshu said with smile. Yu Shutian's expression is also filled with amazement. She walked over and looked at the Regent Origin stones. Shu shu shu. I did not steal them, I won them. Qin Yun informed Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian about the Regent melons. Hong Mengshu curled her lips and said, There is such a fun thing. You actually did not bring me along. I like to play the most. Qin Yun said with smile, Mengshu, you are a fake gambling king. Don't go and join the fun. You will lose everything. Hong Mengshu is very unconvinced. She pouted at Qin Yun. Xiao Tian, what's going on with the Regent melons? Qin Yun asked. Regent melons. They're a very special king-tier medicinal fruit. They grow in Regent Mountain Range. It is very easy to find them in the depths of Regent Mountain Range. Yu Shutian has read many books in Fantasy Spirit College, so she is very knowledgeable. So you're saying that there are many of these melons? Qin Yun asked. Indeed, but there are not many melons that can produce Regent Origin stones. As for how they grow, nobody knows. In short, there are many of these Regent melons. Generally, one vine grows more than 10 of them. After they are found, they are harvested from one vine and then sold for gambling. Yu Shutian said with smile, Ayun, you can find 2 king-quality Regent Origin stones from melon. It is truly good luck. The door suddenly rang. Qin Yun promptly stored away the Regent Origin stones. The person who came in is precisely Granny Wang. Granny Wang is not surprised to see Qin Yun here. Granny Wang has also brought along 3 old men. There's a young man beside each of them. Apparently they are here to participate in the assessment. Granny Wang. This is my friend Yu Shutian. She is also here to participate in the assessment. Hong Mengshu said to Granny Wang. An old woman followed behind Granny Wang. A red-clothed man beside her said in amazement, Fantasy Spirit College's Yu Shutian? She is a famous talented woman in 100 Pagoda City. She is also an astrology master, very proficient in stars. It is said that Chu Tian Pagoda's chief disciple fancies her. Then what about this young master? That red-clothed man looked at Qin Yun and asked. He is my friend. He is not participating in the assessment. Yu Shutian said. Oh, so he is here to mingle. That red-clothed man said in disdain. Granny Wang doesn't feel like explaining too much. She knows that Qin Yun is very capable. There will be a trade fair tonight. Anyone with an invitation card or a martial emperor cultivation can enter the trade fair. Granny Wang looked at the 3 old men and said, We will go inside and discuss the details of tonight's trade fair. After Granny Wang and the 3 old men entered, the 3 young men outside introduced themselves to Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian. These 3 young men are 2 men and 1 woman. They came with their elders. Since they are all young martial kings, each and every one of them are very arrogant. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.